Testing, testing, one, two, three. Is the music playing? Yes, it is. It's just a little low. All right, welcome everybody. We've got a mechanical engineer up first. I will give people a couple of minutes because I also still need to, actually get the keywords for this. I haven't saved the mechanical engineer one because they're kind of all different based on what they're doing. So, recent graduate targeting entry level and manufacturing. Yeah. That's kind of a problem. Because I think mechanical engineering is sort of like software engineering in that you need to, specify which kind. But I will always double check. Because that is what the double checking is for. So, mechanical engineer in the United States. I wish it wouldn't default to European. because, and reset just in case. So, there are quite a lot of jobs. Can everybody hear me? Is the sound good? I know we had some sound issues last time. I'm just checking. Yes, no, maybe. Can you repeat the question? Whatever the rest of Malcolm in the Middle's song was. See, do they have entry level? There's 4Ks. That should be good. Yeah. Testing. Can people hear me? Please say that you can hear me. Am I going to have to go to the actual thing again and check? Yes, I am. So, let's make sure I am vocal. Channel. All right. Doing a test. Testing. Okay. Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3. Testing. Okay, cool. We are good. So, time to find the mechanical engineer. Python and MATLAB. Those are, you know what, that makes sense. I knew it was going to be MATLAB. I was shocked that it was first Python. But manufacturing, material, industry, communication, mechanical engineering. There it is, AutoCAD. That was what I forgot was AutoCAD. AutoCAD. Let's see, AutoCAD. Okay, mechanical, electrical plans and specifications. How you teamwork, and communication. Can I spell communication? Basically that. So materials application. SolidWorks. Let's see. Functional proof of concept models. And I would say like industry type. So industry. So like not industry. Well, I guess this would be industry. Would this be industry? This would be industry. Would be. I guess industry and type of mech engineer. So healthcare and like circuit designer. So industry and type of mech engineer. I can just keep it like this. This is getting too long. Too oofies. No one says oofies. CAD. Here's designing for manufacturing. Yeah, this is where it's gonna be different. Office, AutoCAD. I mean, I saw Office. Will we need to put Microsoft Office? And this is the question. And probably. The answer to that is probably. So, let's move that up a little bit. Okay. Wow, they actually state this here. I'm actually pretty happy that they stated this as computer programs and boring code. Props to them for actually stating it. Bachelor, right, that was what I was missing, was the bachelor's. SolidWorks and the bachelor's. But after that, it should be good. Because it's really going to matter. Oh, there's Office. Bachelor's, Office, Teamwork. So we're going to add MS Office, and that's probably it. So everybody can hear me, right? There's no sound issues. I cannot tell. Please just give me a yes, I can hear, or no, I can hear. I need to make sure, because I do not know, and I may have to do a brief record to check, and I want to make sure that I don't have to do that. Alright, we're going to do a sound check. Because also, my darn headset was busted. I can only hear it out of the left ear. So, since no one has said anything, we are doing a quick test. Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, testing 4. Okay. Stopping the music to check. Okay, cool. We are good. I just have a paranoid fear of it not working and me recording like 8 videos and nothing happening. So that is a paranoid fear of mine. Will it happen? Probably not, but that doesn't mean I don't fear it. So this is a 1:75, which is not actually a terrible ratio. All right, now we can start. I'm ready. I am the Headless Headhunter, a corporate recruiter here to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. The first resume we have up is a mechanical engineer. So part of the problem with mechanical engineering is that mechanical engineering is a bit like software engineering and that you need to be kind of specific. So typically most engineering or mechanical engineering positions are sort of broken down into what type they are. So that is what this in specific is for. So are you a an engine engineer? Are you a aerospace engineer? Do you work on brake pads? We don't know. So typically we want to know that because they're usually hiring for a specific reason. The other things we want to see are MATLAB, Python, and AutoCAD. Do you need Python? Not necessarily, but it's nice to have. But MATLAB and AutoCAD are pretty much need to include. Or any type of CAD, typically if you have it, but preferably AutoCAD. SolidWorks is really, really good. We do need to see your bachelor's, as this person is a recent graduate. Their ratio is also 1:75, which is not the worst. Could be a lot better. Again, that's kind of like a C-, although as this is an entry-level position they're seeking, that is the equivalent of a C-. Yeah, if they were like 2 to 3 years, then it would have been, I'd say 1:50, which is how many applications it takes to actually get to an interview. So we need to see that. The industry, so this is like, is it healthcare? Is it finance? I don't know what a mechanical engineer would do in finance industry, but whatever. So what type of industry and type of mechanical engineer? mechanical, electrical plans and specifications, teamwork and communication, and MS Office. This was in about a third of job descriptions. And if it's in the job description, you need to include it on your resume. I know how basic that is, but if everybody included MS Office who had it, it would seriously, there'd be like 10% of people would just immediately get employed. It's shocking how prevalent and needed that is. So, all right, let's see the resume. So, most of the formatting is okay. Nothing here needs to be bolded. Nothing here needs to be bolded. It should be one line. Oh no, you have a minor in business administration. So realistically, you probably could not put it into one line. So 2 lines is fine because of the minor. But you don't really need this. You know what? I'm going back and forth in this. Specifically because normally you don't need to include coursework. Ideally, I'd like to see what types of you've done here, but it could be beneficial to... Oh, wait, no, none of these I needed. Okay, no. I mean, if it said something specifically like biomed or engines, then it would be good, but this can be safely deleted. I had to double check it. And you don't need to do the month. You just need to do the year you graduated. And if you don't want to put the year you graduated, like you graduated a while ago, then that's okay to put status graduated. So nothing here should be bolded. Again, you don't want these little lines in between it. It's not a big deal, but it can help your application to not have those. So engineered a tensile tester for X Research Group's biomimetic. Is that from the SCP Foundation? What is a biomimetic material? Okay. Yielding placements. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I care about this, but you have CAD, which is good. See, this is kind of the problem, is the person reviewing your resumes probably have no idea what an displacement resolution is. And I did hire mechanical engineers before, but that was admittedly like 7-8 years ago. Those were my primary days of hiring mechanical engineers. So, but yeah, CAD, this is what I actually care about in this sentence. It is good that you tell me what you did, though, but this is a little too technical. Reduce friction in linear motion by 15%. I don't know what that means. Via custom-made stainless steel rods. The stainless steel rods could be useful if it gives a hint of the industry. GDT and compliance, readability. Yeah, so here's the problem. I am all the way down here, and I don't know what this is. I don't know what a biomimetic material analysis is. Is that involving in engines? Is that airplanes? Is it circuit boards? I don't know, but that is what I'm going to need. Conducted 100 plus tensile tests, extracted strain data, load output in Excel. Excel is good, although there are other things I would like to see. Excel is still good. Define mechanical specification, collaborate with XLab researchers, and deliver to the system under a $500 budget. Applying lean meter. This could be needed or not. The manager might like this, so that's okay. But I think actually, weirdly enough, this is good, is that it shows that you can work well with others. Because there's a reason I put teamwork and communication up, is almost every single entry-level job had that. You need to show that you can work as a team. So weirdly enough, in all of this, I think what's actually getting you the 1 in 75 is the fact that you mentioned CAD, the fact that you mentioned Excel, and the fact that you mentioned that you could work as a team. For offshore platforms, okay, part of the calibers, micro and height gauges, this could be useful, but we're close. Yeah, here it is. So this is only good because you mentioned it. Like you mentioned you worked with others, but I don't see MATLAB. I don't see Python. I did see CAD. Again, you don't need all of those, but I should still see them. I don't think I saw SolidWorks. You did have your bachelor. You did have the industry. You don't have the industry. I don't know what you did. I'm very sure that people that are mechanical engineers can understand, and they're going to be like, oh, clearly you flipped the flop-floop. But I don't know. And the person reviewing your resume is unfortunately probably not going to know. I personally have not, like I said, recruited a mechanical engineer in over 7 years. You have to convince me, not convince, you have to show me what you did. And I don't see that. And you do have Excel, which is good. So you have about 40 to 50% of these, give or take, which is specifically why you're getting a 1 in 75. Because you don't need all of them. You need about 75%. And if you have 50%, that's why you're getting a 1 to 75. I hope that made sense. It made sense up here. But yeah, you just need more keywords, and you need to describe it in a way that is understandable to the layman. I'm sure you see, yeah, the rest of your resume is basically the same thing. So, you know, you do have some leadership experience down at the bottom, which can be useful because it does show that you can work on a team. But ideally, as an entry-level mechanical engineer, you're not going to be leading teams. You're going to be led. So, but you do show that. So again, this is like, that's why you're getting a 1 in 75. Add more keywords, make it comprehensible to the layman, fix up the formatting by a little bit, and you should have a lot more success. So, and if anybody else needs help or they want to know where the heck I get the keywords from, that's on my Twitch stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/Headless Headhunter. The link is also in the description below this video. Submit your resume. It's free. I do this for free. I just like helping people. So, yeah, send me your resumes and let's go to the next one. All right. Let me get Bear up. Bear is downstairs because, like I said, we have a friend staying with us for a while in the future, and my wife and my friend are now in the garage cleaning, and Bear is standing by the garage door wondering why nobody is inside. So Bear, you want a treat? Bear, you want a treat? Nope, I hear him. Here, I will send you the link. And Bear, I could hear him running upstairs, so he is here. There we go. This is the link. You can submit it there. It does take about a week to go up on here, a week and a half. Hi, Bear. Okay, give me a second. I know I called you. I had to answer a question. So, this is Bear. Hello, Bear. You want a treat? Clem gave you a treat. Okay, stay. No, wait. Patience. Stay. Go. He didn't get it. All right. No, I didn't say go. I was seeing how long he could go. Stay. Go get it. There you go. Good boy. Welcome to chat, both of you, Iberos and Twitch and Reveled. Yes, Bear. Bear. He was sleeping too soundly. No, he's actually not sleeping. So, again, we have a friend staying with us, and my wife and my friend are in the garage doing projects. And Bear is very upset that we are not all in the same room. He does not like us to be in different rooms. So he is standing by the garage door whimpering, wanting them to come inside. And hello to you all as well. Oh, wait, that was you. That is my wife who answered. I didn't even see the thing. I'm sorry, honey. No, he was whining. I could hear him whining. Could you not hear him whining from the garage? But yeah, Bear whines a lot. You were not sleeping, huh? No, you were whining. You're complaining, little boy. They'll be back. The keywords, well, actually, let me see if I can do that for the next one. Software engineer. Okay, no, it might be a bit. So, functionally, what you want to do is, first off, go to LinkedIn or Indeed. Doesn't really matter. What industry are you in, Iberos? That actually is the very first question that I should have asked. My allergies are getting a little bit better, but they are still a little out, so my head is afire. Software development. Okay, well, like software engineer, front end, back end, full stack, which what? Or something else. Also, what country? Because, again, those keywords can vary based on country. But how you want to do it is you basically need to, first off, identify what a good job description is. And a good job description has this. Front end, okay, in Puerto Rico. Right, I don't know if I can search Puerto Rico. I can't. Can I spell Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico. Okay, San Juan. Let's just do Puerto Rico. We are not doing that, so we're going to do front end. Okay. All right, this may be a case if they don't call it that. Engineer. Okay, whatever. So this is how you're going to do it. You need to find enough jobs that you first qualify for. Oh, because it's saying entry level. Okay. Okay, we're going to do front-end developer. Is this going to work right? No, there's just not enough. Okay. Unfortunate. So, find jobs that you first qualify for. And my wife is calling the dog. He's coming, honey. So, find jobs that you qualify for. In this case, in the United States, let's say front-end developer. Why is it doing this? There should not be. What do you want? He's got a toy. All right. So find a job that you qualify for. This is a bad job description. Okay? This is a bad job description because it doesn't tell you the qualifications. Go to this one. So this one is a good job description. It has this. It'll say qualifications or must-haves or needed or whatever. Yeah, no, you're right. Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. That is true. So a bigger issue is moving, but mainly because like location matters. So you get the qualification, right? So here, and then this is what you actually care about. So everything else besides this, don't worry about, because they have a lot of stuff over here that says like A/B tests with Adobe Target and third-party integrations. But what they actually care about is this stuff. So you get about, say, 10 to 15 of these, okay? So get about 10 to 15 of these that are good. They have qualifications, must have, needed. Then you combine the most common ones of that. So if you are specifically looking for front end, I have those saved because I've done that. But this is how you do it, is you basically get about 10 to 15, and then you copy the most common ones, which in the case of front end developer for the US, and I assume Puerto Rico as well, because location is important. I know you are a US citizen. Is going to be these. And you can already tell that these are basically the same because you don't need all of this. I might actually need to add view, but you don't need all of this. You only need about 75% of it. So I've already gotten SQL. I've already gotten API. Do I have Git? I already have Git, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then one of these. And that's already it. So even though I did not copy this job description, that is going to be the common job description for a front-end developer. So sometimes you need to break it down into a little bit deeper. So like instead of say like, actually software engineering is a very good one, is you can't just say you're a software developer. You have to break it down into front-end, back-end, full stack. And if you do back-end, you have to break it down even more into the primary language stack. So, because look, if you look at these, all these qualifications are going to be the equivalent. So React, React Native, we have those, Vue, Next.js. That's okay. So Tailwind, basically the same. So what you want to do is create your resume with those. And I know as a fresh grad, you are not specialized. I'm not telling you that you need to be specialized. It's not like Pokemon where you need to evolve and then you can't go backwards. It's okay with projects. You just need to focus the projects. Hey, Running Chicken, how you doing? So what you want to do is just focus your projects on those skills, because a resume is not to show how good you are. It's a snapshot of what is the minimum qualifications. So did that make sense, Iberos? Libero. It's the L-I in the first part of your name that I'm messing up on, because I know Barrios I think is correct, but never listen to me in pronunciation. But again, welcome back, Running Chicken. So I'm not asking you to be specialized. I'm just saying focus your resume on that, because let's say you've done let's say you've done Ruby on Rails, right? Realistically, most front-end developers jobs are not going to care that you did Ruby on Rails. So even if you did a Ruby on Rails project, you should not include that project. Even if in the project you did everything, only focus on those keywords. You need to be focused, and that is the part that most front-end or most people mess up on, is they're not focused. Generalized resumes never work. So how was your weekend, everybody? And did you, I guess today, did you all do anything very special today? Did you do anything cool? Were there plans? I don't know. Also, this person completely doxed themselves, so give me a second. Because full contact information. Yeah, they did everything here. Email, phone number, LinkedIn, and GitHub. All right. So let's make sure that nobody can see this, and I cannot scroll up. I don't want this to be another non-canon stream. So, because every time I dox somebody, the stream is not canon. It doesn't count. That is the running bit. But But I had a meeting today, and then I kind of had a really good idea of what I want to do, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do it this week, but I want to try to do it within the next 3, is sort of make a form so that people can make their resume via that form. So, which also reminds me, so I'm obviously not a coder. I cannot code. I do not do that stuff. Is there a good way to sort of make like a form or an app I can put on my website with specifically like if you like how to create a thing, so you could basically just like input the stuff and then it'll put it into your resume? It's not AI, it will be manual, unfortunately, but I want to, and then it will give you back the finished product. What would that be? This is a genuine question, because again, I am not coder. I know the principles of the generalities, but I don't know what it is. So I want to make, and that would be my goal, is a and I'm kind of killing time a little bit because we have an ad in a minute, but I want to have just like a sort of like, you know, I don't know if anybody did this as a kid, but it had like ad libs where you would put like, you ran to X when you did Y, and you would put like popsicles and orange, and then you would fill it out and you'd make a funny sentence. I kind of want to make something like that before a resume, so that it shows people how to sort of do that, along with a basic formatting of how to create a bunch of different sentence structures. And I want to be able to put that on my website, or alternatively have people share it so that they can do that. And I would very much appreciate any help regarding that on like what that would be, because that is outside my domain of knowledge. So if anybody has an idea, please let me know. All right, this is a software engineer. I know we have an ad, but I can usually finish these in less than 8 minutes. So can I do that? Be specific. Front end, back end, and then we're gonna go Java, Python. What the heck is another one? Wiley, you know this. Do you know the C? Okay. Or full. Okay. That matter. I can't believe I forgot it. I just use a site builder. What is a site builder? I think you can make something like that with just some forms. I do know Google Forms. I have used them before. That was the original part of my website. I think this may be slightly more complex. But what is a site builder? Is that something that comes in with Squarespace? Because I already have Squarespace. Like, I know it's not complicated. Like, this is not going to be a crazy complicated thing. But having used Google Forms, it is more complicated. Wix. Okay, so Squarespace has it. I could build it in Squarespace. Interesting. Huh. Okay, that's good to know, because I'm already paying for it for my website. I might as well use it. So it is something I may have to hire a dev for, but I don't know. Maybe I can get a dev a job and they can put it in as a benefit. But okay, so Squarespace can do it. That is helpful. Thank you very much. And then we have an ad, so I don't want to like do this during it. But so you are. In fact, I think this will probably be a good description of it. Is we don't know what kind of software engineer this is, Averos, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And this is sort of what most resumes look like, is essentially this. So we are trying to find very specific keywords. The problem is I don't know what keywords. I understand you just graduated, but they want to know. So like if I'm looking for full stack, it would be different than front end. And I have 15 seconds to find it. So that is also why you should use this formatting for your resume. This is very basic, and that is the point. A resume is not meant to showcase how good you are. I think that is a common misconception of what a resume does. A resume is meant to show that you meet the minimum qualifications for. So resumes are very bad about showing how good you are. They're just awful. So you want to use that form, make it very basic. The more boring and basic you make it, the better, because what I actually care about is this stuff. So anything that makes it harder to find is that. Also, I need to check something real quick about this, which is why I'm doing this. Okay. Did not. Okay. This person might be, let's see, that. Okay. Delaware. Where is Delaware in the U.S.? I don't even know. I feel like I'd like to visit it. I've been to a bunch of places in the U.S., but I don't think I've been to Delaware. What? Where is Delaware? Oh, by New Jersey. Okay. Those are wildly different pictures. Delaware looks pretty. Huh. Okay. Has anybody been to Delaware in the chat? This is now a Delaware scream. Okay, Ad, can you come so I can start the other review? This is the goal. I need to be able to review it. I don't want to get cut off during the review. Okay, there we go. What is Bear doing? Okay. I know, he's very exhausted that nobody's in the same room. If they get a ton of applicants in the minimum, wouldn't they up the requirements? Not on the job, but during the resume review process? Kind of, but no. They can up the requirements, but realistically, they wouldn't do that until the next position, because... So there is a good way to do this and a bad way to do this, and there are some companies that do it poorly, but realistically, it's not how it works. Like, you don't get 25 people and then up the job description again, because then you'd have to redo the job description. Like, to be very clear, actually redoing the job description is not just a simple button press. If you make a grammatical error, you can do that. But otherwise, there are legal things that you need to keep and done. Like, you can't just change the requirements and then reject people, because your company could potentially get sued. So it is a long process to up the requirements. You can lessen the requirements sometimes, but typically that means making a whole new job. And then if you do that, you then have to go back through those resumes you already reviewed and then see if they then meet the requirements. So... Now, what it could be is if you have like 10 to 15 people, the manager could decide, okay, I got my pick, now I'm going to pick the best one. But typically, you're not going to just up the requirements during the job itself if you get a lot of good applicants, because how do you compare that, right? Like, it's not something you can easily do, and it's going to double or triple the time it takes to essentially go through those resumes. And that time is already barely there to begin with. Because recruiters only spend about 20% of their time on resumes. Most of the rest of it is fixing the process. In theory. But if it's not enough to meet the minimum requirements and you get rejected for it, that could be a lawsuit. So, those minimum requirements are minimum for a reason. Now, if you get, like I said, 15 people, then you can pick the best of those. But that's sort of something the manager will do during the interview, because the interview is when you that's where you decide if you're better than others, is during the interview. You don't really do that during this part. All right. This person... actually, an internship. Wait, you're doing an internship? Okay, what? Okay, well... This is a resume of a software engineer, I think. This could be a internship, but I don't actually know. Sorry, my camera's all messed up. So I think they're actually looking for an internship, in which case this is not going to be as relevant advice, because you do need to be specific for what type of software engineer you are, but not so much for the intern. The internships, you can be generalized. That's fine. But once you actually look for a job, you need to sort of pick a stack and then focus on that in your resume. So they haven't landed any interviews yet, so they're looking for a summer internship. Okay. There are still 2 more rounds. They're targeting... Okay, so here's part of the problem is you are targeting a job in software engineering, DevOps, and cloud engineering. Those are wildly different jobs. Wildly different jobs. The qualifications for a DevOps is not going to be the same for a software engineer, and possibly not the same for a cloud engineer. You need to be specific about the type. Now, there are a little bit of similarities, but the actual tech stack is going to be different. So first off, this should be in 2 lines. Your formatting's off. Your formatting should look like... That's the old resume. Formatting should look like this. This is how your formatting should look. It is truly the best resume format, I swear to you. This is chaos and will get you rejected, which is what has been happening. And I don't do it because it looks pretty, because objectively I think some of these look prettier than my format, but pretty doesn't get you interviews. It's basic and boring gets you interviews. So you can delete this whole section, doesn't matter. This should be in 2 lines, and then we get to your actual experience. Nothing here should be bolded. The more you bolden the resume, the less your chances. It's just so hard to find what we need in the 15 seconds we have. So, and then you need to pick. You need to pick if you're doing software engineering, DevOps, or cloud. And then you're going to put common keywords for those. And for both of them, what you do need is, this is specifically internship keywords, is how you took criticism, not led, but how you took criticism and how you can work in a team. So they get a lot of interns and almost everybody forgets those soft skills, but I need to see here or here how you worked as a team. It's good that you have these like technical stuff. We do want those, but collaborating with 2+ cross-functional team members. Okay, but how did you collaborate? See, that's kind of the problem, is no one tells me about how. You can't just say, I collaborated, I'm good. If you went up to somebody and you said, I'm the best X in the world, they would be like, kind of sus, bro. But if you said, I am the best X in the world because I did X, Y, and Z, that's how it works. So I don't know what 2+ cross-functional team members for an internship is. That just sounds like team members. I need to know how you worked with them. I need to know that you took direction and criticism. This is nice, assisted in Python, but yeah, it just, there's so much here and it's not a ton of what I'd be looking for. You have a couple of keywords that I'd be looking for, I will say, but like the bolding is making it way worse. So you need to simplify this. Please don't make it this chaotic. Use this formatting. It is best formatting. But your biggest problem is your formatting is chaos. This is a very impacted thing. You don't tell me how you collaborated with people, and you're not focused, because here you have Unity, which could be a different keyword than C# and API. So typically C#, API, and Agile are good, but I need to know, like, what are you trying to do here? So you need to be very specific. You don't need to necessarily pick, like I said, full stack front end or whatever. But I do need to know if this is a DevOps resume, a cloud engineer intern resume, or a software engineer intern resume. That is where your first break point is. So, and none of the bolding. The bolding makes it worse. Next resume. Okay. Just patiently waiting for my game dev resume to be reviewed. So far, it's been hard to even get past the second email. I flubbed a recent interview. I mean, interviews take practice, right? You can't... No one's good at interviews. I've botched interviews before. I'm very good at interviews, and I've screwed up too. If a computer mouse was called a mouse because of the wire resembling a tail, shouldn't a wires mouse be called a hamster? Also, Omni, complete side note. It seems every time you leave a stream, it becomes non-canon. Like the last stream or the one before accidentally doxed somebody. It's like every time you're here, it is a canon stream. But should it be called a hamster? I think hamsters are too big. Yeah, I think hamsters are too big. The stream is canon if you dox. Yeah, but I only dox when you're not here. Oh no, I meant like a task in an email that's a brief experience. No, I mean like Twitch and Ruffled. Okay. It's everybody. It takes time. It takes time. So you need to get practiced at it, right? I darn well do dare, Omni. Just reformatting resume using your example. Chatted with a professional friend in my field, and he said he would give me an interview based on the resume. Nice. Good, good, good. Yeah, it's boring is best in resumes. It's you really want something boring and basic. Okay, the other person also asked some questions that I forgot to answer. So let me fix this and... Alright, AI researcher. Do I have a researcher? I think I did this one before. See, that is 1443. No, 11442. 1442 M. Okay, 1443. Okay. No, 1142. Brain. Oh my gosh. My allergies are doing much better, but they're still there. I have been very loopy over the weekend because of that. All right, there we go. All right, Bear's getting a performance review. I'm putting this in chat because this was the question they asked, and I want to make sure I don't forget it in the next one. Bear! Bear, you want a treat? Oh, wow, we are almost out. Oh, we do? Okay. Thank you, love. Here he is. He's coming. Okay. Yes. So, overall, your performance has been satisfactory. There has been some issues of lack of being able to do work on your own lately, where if people have left the room, you have decided to freak out and start whining. And we do need you to work on your own. There is cases where we are not able to coach you 24/7. And it is a collaborative team office, but we need to make sure you can work independently. So we do need to work on your ability to work independently. But you have been very good about noise complaints. There has been no random roofing or woof 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 barking. And overall, you have been a very good boy. Good boy. Yes, you are. Been a very good boy. But yeah, he does not like us to be in different rooms. That's why he's not here, is because one of my friend is outside, my wife is downstairs, and I'm up here, and he's going in between it, like wondering why we're not in the same room. He also refuses to eat food unless I or my friend watch him. I don't know why. Like, he will do, like, if he won't eat it in front of my wife, but he will only eat his food if I am there or my friend is there. I'm just thinking of what Bear must be thinking during performance. He's like, my human lures me here with treats and then yaps and yaps before finally giving me the treat. We believe, honey, he's a Rose. He's a, what is Bear again? He's a pit bull and a what? Okay, we think he's a pit bull in a lab. So we think pit bull in a lab. He was a street dog. So my wife said he's probably definitely a mutt, but pit bull for sure, possibly golden, and then that's, I mean, it's Labrador, not golden. All right. Also must remark the reason I'm here again is because of Twitch. Got scammed. Boo. Is Twitch and Ruffle instead of what he used to be. Just be scared of making a parasocial relationship with Bear. He's a good old boy. We love him. It's okay. People can get parasocial with Bear. He will let you. He just loves people. He's a very good dog. Sometimes with other dogs he can be a little bit much, but it's more because he thinks he's a small dog. So, and I'm sorry that you got scammed. What was your previous name if you were here? But we do want to do an AI researcher. This person didn't tell me anything. Are they doing AI? Okay. But yeah, Bear probably is very confused why I call him up to yap. But he's just happy with attention. He will also play with a light like a cat. And to you to study brother. Neat. Let's see. Preferred benefits, HTML, AP, required AI. I had a random dog I ran up the other day and just put his paw on my legs. Oh, that is always the best. That is always the best. How was Kaibe? How was that place? Was it fun? I did not like college, so I like hearing other people's college stories because I did not like college. TensorFlow. My old name is Redactive in case I get a game dev job. Nope, that's fair. That's fair. If you need to protect yourself, protect yourself. But yeah, I do want to make a thing where people can do this way easy and it just gives them a resume. That's going to be my sort of project for a bit. Oh, I can hear him coming upstairs. Oh, I think he stopped. But yeah, he will play with lights. College was great. Yeah. I did not do it. I did not do well in college. Like, I did okay grade-wise. It was 3.2, but mentally it kind of broke me. I did not do well there. Okay, because like these are all developers and not engineers, so I don't even know if this is the right keyword. But okay, this is kind of the best I can do for this one. But yeah, he will. So if you get a light, like a cat that you play with, he will play with that for hours. He will do like the paw thing. And we realized that Bear is basically a cat that thinks he is a dog. So that is what Bear is. He is a cat that thinks he's a dog. Enjoyed college very much. I studied abroad in France. Oh, that sounds cool. Just studied in Singapore. My home and uni live NTU is a bit intense for my taste. Okay. But I love spending time with other exchange students and meeting locals. I got to travel to a bunch of other countries while I was there. That is neat. See, that's really cool. My undergrad was Doris giving low grades. I graduated at 2.6. And then I came to the U.S. for a master's. Like, wow, it's so easy. Got a 3.7. Yeah. I mean, because, well, I don't know if this is still the case, but I feel like the U.S. sort of focuses a little more on, like, creative skills more so than rote memorization. But there's still a lot of rote memorization, so. Woof. That is rough, Twitch, that your PhD got terminated. Ugh. All right, I think this is the right one. All right. This is a resume of a 1 second. So, this was something the last person asked, but I forgot to say. So this goes to the last resume. So they were wondering how important cover letters are. Not very. People ask me all the time, Lee, how do you make a cover letter? And the answer is, I don't actually know. I don't read them. No recruiter I know reads them. The only time I've ever known a cover letter to be mandatory is when a hiring manager, we cannot convince the hiring manager to not have one. And even during that, I said, okay, I will be looking at the resume. I will not be looking at the cover letter. And they usually change their mind and move it to cover letters are not required. So I don't think you really need a cover letter in most cases. If you do have one, don't submit it unless you are absolutely forced to. The other thing is fine to generate them with AI. Again, I don't read cover letters. I don't know a recruiter that does. I'm sure there's got to be one, but I'm not a fan of cover letters. I think cover letters should be gone as an industry standard. I think the resume gives us everything. So back to this resume. The problem is the resume that I now have up is a AI researcher engineer. The problem is that could be like 3 or 4 or 5 different jobs and it's not specified enough. And this person did not give me a ratio or knowledge or anything. So the only thing I could really find that you need, and these are not going to be all of them, is JavaScript, Python, or GenAI, NLP, LLM, and then stuff like PyTorch, TensorFlow, DSPY. So, again, I know there's more, but I couldn't find them because I didn't want to get it wrong. So, this is way too long. This needs to be 1 line, and you can probably fit the honors into 1 line. Don't really care about relevant models. Skills, this whole section can be deleted. Again, skill sections don't matter. We have 15 seconds to find what we need, which you're then like, well, 15 seconds, skill section, good. No, skill section, bad. Because what we need needs to have a what you did, how you did it, and why you did it. That is why skill sections don't count, is we can't use this information. It's junk. So, okay, this should be one line. None of this should be bolding. Please, 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 please use this format. Engineered a medical res of Parkinson's body. I don't think I would need that. Wait, is this AI? See, where's the AI? I don't see anything about AI here. AI research privacy deployed a privacy preserving ML models. That's good. Again, there's too much. So even the few keywords that I needed, I don't see. So I need to see them here. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple of more keywords, but I don't see them. I don't see them. I see one thing of AI, which is ML, which stands for machine learning, and hopefully they would know what that is. They may not, but hopefully they do. Digital outlet, yeah, there's like nothing here. So don't do your resume like this. This is why you want to use this formatting, is we have 15 seconds to find it here. And it's hard to find, and I don't even the few keywords. So you need more keywords. You need to drill down on what your keywords are in the first place, which is you basically take like 10 to 15 good job descriptions and combine the keywords for all of those. Those are going to be the stuff in the qualifications, the must-have, the needed, those sections. So let's go to the next resume. Hold on, my nose is, I need to blow my nose real quick. I don't want nobody. Okay, back. I know summer has just started, but I wish it would end. So, let's see. Can I mention? Okay, so curving graves and giving free marks if I got a question wrong. Yeah, those are it. I mean, that's kind of how I passed my math class. So. My uni, there's a big focus on extracurricular involvement engineering clubs. I think that's actually beneficial. The clubs are kind of what can get you the stuff. I spoke to a lot of Asian peers, and they said that GPA was the most important for them by far. GPA can matter. Would you recommend a cover letter for someone? I really misread that, running chicken. Wow. PG-13 chat. All right. No. So what you want to do if... Here. So... Normally, summaries are not good. All right. Normally, you don't want a summary. But if you are shifting industries between education and the citizenship status, have a very small bullet point that just says moving to X industry from Y industry, and that's all you need. That way they know that you are changing industries so that they don't get confused. And that shouldn't be a cover letter. That should just be here. Yeah, those are fun. Class max is in 10. You get like 60%. Ugh. Number of projects in MSc does include a lot of professional experience. It depends on your resume and what they need. OFNOC. Yeah, allergies are very much a B word right now. I have so much allergies. I can barely breathe through my nose. But it depends on the job. The masters could matter. It could not matter. It's really job dependent. So I wish I could give you a definite, but it's going to highly depend on what it is. Because as an exaggeration example, if you're applying to be a cashier at McDonald's, a master's would make it seem that you were overqualified, and it would hurt your chances. While if you say didn't have that for a iterative AI generating researcher, they would probably want a PhD. So it really depends on the industry itself. Wouldn't the resume as you have displayed kind of show that you're shifting industries? Well, so here's the real example. Also, would shifting industries put you below those? It could, but it also may not. Again, the key thing is that they see you have the keywords. So as a real life example, at PPG, there was a machinist position. I don't think it was a machinist. It was essentially like an entry level where you did stuff on a conveyor belt and you fixed it, sort of. And this was entry level. It was a manual labor job, and somebody came in with a master's and bachelor's in, I think it was like wind turbines or like global warming or something, like studies. And they had the skills, but I showed it to the manager and I could not convince them that to actually move them forward to an interview, because they said they're only here, like they applied by mistake, or alternatively they're only here because they're waiting to get the next job. So that is why you want to make sure that you have it here, so that they know that this is intentional and this is not just a random one-off. If you're switching industries, that is one of the few times to put a summary. So, because that is a real life case where the manager would not move forward with them no matter how much. So, which I wish they did, but most of this stuff is less for the recruiter but for the manager, I'll be honest. While writing my resume in your format and showing to others, there's a bit of confusion on the summary bullet versus a keyword bullet. To others, it seemed like they were the same thing. Is there a way to distinguish them in the format? They're pretty close. And I think this is part of the thing, is I need to redo all of this to make it clearer, because I don't think I'm describing this well. But the summary bullet point is, as an example, let's say I'm a mechanical engineer, right? I apply to fix aerospace stuff. And in my first sentence is, I changed 12 ohms for 13 voltages. And that makes no sense. The summary of your job there is to make sure that the person knows that regardless of your job title, they know what you do and that it's equivalent to, oh, cool, mechanical. Yeah, it's equivalent to what they're looking for. So if you were applying to an aerospace job, and the first one would be like, created brakes for our airplanes in aerospace, so that, yeah, like that would actually be it. Because that's kind of the problem for mechanical engineering, is they want to know that it's the industry, and the first sentence is typically something that's only comprehensible if you are in it. Because like, look at the first one. Remember the first one where it was, can I go back to it? I don't think I can go back to it. Where it said like the 12 ums and the 13 uns. That was the problem, is the very first one should have been what the actual duties were, so that I knew. It should be like created brakes for aerospace, department, and using AutoCAD. So it's to let the person know in case your job title is different. Because like, look, this is these are actually a good ones. Oh, here's a good one down here. This is a terrible job title, right? What is a technical consultant intern? It means nothing. This, if they had this right, and I haven't read this, maybe it is. So this is implemented monitoring and alert solutions within Azure to proactively detect response to security threats, integrating with clients into visibility security protocols. So to my understanding, based on what they said, they are like a cybersecurity person. That might be completely wrong, but I don't know. So this is, if your job title is incomprehensible, you want a summary so that they actually know what you do. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. I need to blow my nose again. I already took an allergy medication. It'd be like 3 more, but I... Thank you. The summary is to show that you're in the right industry. Like if you're a software engineer, the summary would be what kind of software engineer you could be. So it is to show the person reading that you are correct. Because sometimes different like what is the difference between a machine learning engineer and an AI ML engineer? Maybe nothing, but the summary shows that you're still in the right path. So that is why it's a summary sentence under the job itself, is because job titles suck across the board, and I'm blaming companies for that, not candidates. So does that make sense? But that the rest of them are just keywords. So, but the summary is just to show that it is the right area. Because Let's see. AI researcher, like mechanical engineer. Let's go mechanical engineer. Like, what is this? This is, I don't know. Let's do this one. R&D engineer. This shows that it is in biomedical. So you would, because like a mechanical engineer could be for brakes, could be for biomedical. That is why you'd put a summary is, for our biomedical company, I made engines, right? So this summary is to basically give a very brief overview of this job so that they could understand it at a glance. That is the purpose, because otherwise they may misunderstand your duties. So it's most of what I'm doing here is harm reduction. That is how you want to create a resume, is harm reduction. You want to make it so that as little failure can happen as possible. And the summary is how you do that. The rest of them are just keywords, qualification, how you used it. Technically, your summary doesn't need a keyword. It's just beneficial to have it in there. So I hope that made sense. I know that was a lot, but I hope it still made sense. Okay. This is... Let me fix the formatting real quick. All right, there we go. Where are they? I started the job search in December. I've only had 3 interviews out of 600 applications. I'm not sure if I'm just underqualified or if the job market is bad right now. I mean, the job market is really bad right now. It's... Is my phone charging? Oh no. Oh no, it's not charging. That's not good. Oh no. My phone is not charging. That is a bad sign. All right. This will be a problem. A problem for later. So this is a full stack. Okay, and they said some stuff. This is a resume of a full stack developer. They have been applying since December of last year. They have had about 3 interviews out of 600 plus applications, which is very bad. They said, I'm not sure if I'm underqualified for a software engineer position or if the job market is just bad right now. Probably the job market. Realistically, the resume is never a good way to tell if somebody is underqualified or not. It just shows the minimum qualification. But yeah, that's the point of a resume. So, but the job market's terrible. Like, to be clear, the job market is absolutely awful. So let's see what we can do to improve it. What we're looking for is TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, at least in the United States. In the EU, the Python is switched with Java, Spring Boot, and microservices, I think. It might be wrong. It's off the top of my head. But the rest of them should be accurate. Node, Angular, Next.js, MongoDB, SQL, React, JS, API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and bonus points for architecture, extra language, and Git. So, let's see what they have and what the problem is. Designed and developed a library of UI components using Angular. Angular is good. Next.js is good. with over engineers daily. This, I don't care about the rest of this. Also, is 25K that impressive? The problem with 25K is if that is to a like 3-person shop company, that might be impressive. If that is to say like Apple or Google, 25K is nothing. So I don't know how impressive that really is. Also, every bullet point needs to be one line. Please use this format. It can be a long sentence, it can be a run-on sentence, but it needs to be one sentence. So this should be combined. So, but even then, there's nothing here that I would need. Integrated Docker, I don't really care. To AWS, that's good. Enhancing system portability. Built and maintained a RESTful API. Database, improving 15% average. I don't care about average API latency. Just care that used Agile. Our API, participated in Agile sprints. That's okay, actually. Okay, I don't need this much percentages. Also, nothing here should be bolded, and where is your education? Education should be up top. Here it is. Yeah, your education is... I don't need all of this either. I just need this, and... Are these impressive or not? Design algorithms, not really. I think you could keep the scholarship, but I don't know if that's as needed anymore. Oh, yeah, you just graduated. Yeah. So this should be 3 lines. 1 line should have the university and the degree. The other should have the scholarship, and the third should have the activities, because you never know. Sometimes the activity stuff can get you a job. But it should also be up top. The education is a requirement. So, but yeah, where's your TypeScript, your Python, your JavaScript, your CSS, your HTML? I understand JS stands for JavaScript, but I need it written out, and that's not always the case, because JavaScript is not always front end. Sometimes it's back end, and sometimes it's both, and it's confusing. But yeah, I don't see any of this. It's hard to find some of these because there's a lot of extraneous information. But that's probably why you're getting some interviews, is there are okay keywords here. You're just kind of burying them. Like RESTful APIs is solid. AWS is good. Next and Node is great. Along with over here, you had Agile, which is good. It just, here's the problem. You adding this 20% increase in backlog testing is making it worse. You bolding this is making it worse. You bolding everything is making it worse. This right here isn't relevant. The rest of it is great, but that sentence isn't. So you added too much stuff. You need to prune it a little bit. Keep your education up at top. Add TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. I need those. Those are key. If you can, CI/CD as well, and SQL. I need SQL. Those are kind of the things you're missing. Also apply early. ATSs sort people in the order they apply. So if you are applicant 275, you will probably not get seen. But the faster you apply, the better. But no, it's not that you're underqualified. It's just your resume is... It's not good, but it's also not the worst. Like, it might be one of the better ones I've seen in the last 20 reviews. It's still not good, but out of the bat, it's better. Because you just added too much. So there's nothing really I can go to the next one. But yeah, that's all it is. You added too many keywords. You weren't focused. And your education is at the bottom. Let's go to the next resume. Have I tried rice? What do you mean, have I tried rice? What do I do with rice to cure my sinuses? I enjoy rice. I have rice that is in the fridge that I'm going to use for fried rice. But what does rice do? As an international student, getting sponsored job is nigh impossible. I just can't. Oh, that's accurate. Oh, for my phone. Yeah, no. That makes sense. My phone just stopped charging now, but that is accurate. I should probably use rice. No, yeah, getting a sponsorship is a nightmare. That is always a nightmare. Like, I really wish there was a secret or trick I could do to help people get a job on a visa, but it's you just have to do 3 times as much work as the non-visa candidate to get the same results. And that's unfortunately the case. It is a nightmare to be on a visa. Which is also why I hate everybody blaming them for everything. It's like, bro, they are trying to become citizens, and we have made it so incredibly hard to do so. PhD got terminated. Okay, you don't have to explain it if you don't want to. What do you mean PhD got terminated? Like, what? If that's too much, don't answer it. I don't understand the terminology of that. I don't know enough about TN visas. Is that for Canada? Because apparently it's really easy for Canada. Although I don't know with the current administration, which is how difficult they're making it to get a job. But I don't know enough about Canadian visas. Which I think is a TN. Like, I technically am working on a role right now, but that involves moving from the US to Canada, which is different, and I haven't done that immigration before. So, data analysts. Okay, but you... briefly, they didn't give me a degree in my visa. May get rid of this appeal decision. Okay. Ooh, that is awful. Okay. I hate how our visa system works. It is so painful to everybody involved. It just seems to create the most misery to everybody. Was it a PhD program and had a big mental health issues? Okay. No, I get that. College broke me mentally. I debated quitting so many times during college, and that was just a bachelor's. Something about how you have to do that stuff just does not work with my brain. Okay, I'm currently a rising third year searching for a co-op. What does a rising third year mean? Okay, so this is an internship resume, I think, or is co-op? TN is temporary non-immigrant for certain fields. Engineering, in most cases, only needs a job offer letter. Okay. So what you want to do for a TN is you want to actually have a summary. This is like these are the two cases you want a summary that just says how you can work with it, because they may not understand. Although if you can't answer the question like, do you need a visa, then no, that you can answer it normally. Yeah, basically my bachelor's without meds, relying only on yoga and good vibes. Yeah, doing my bachelor's made me realize I needed medication. So therapy is very helpful, and I'm a big proponent of it. All right. So wait, are they? So they're an internship? 5 interviews. Okay. Full-time contract. Huh. I legit forgot I wanted to try therapy. You should. Therapy is good. Unfortunately, not all therapists are good. Sometimes you have to do therapy once or twice, but only meds I took in bachelor's were narcolepsy meds, and I don't have narcolepsy. But yeah, you should do therapy. I recommend it. I did it. It's great. It helps you out. It's the way I like to describe it is because I think people get wrong ideas. They think you need to be like broken or something to try it in the first place, and that's not the case. Is in your house, you need to do dishes. Doing dishes sucks. But you have to do them because otherwise they're just going to pile up and they're going to pile up and it's going to be hard and it's going to look nasty. It's going to smell and it's just going to be an awful thing and you're going to need to do it. And therapy in my mind is kind of like dishes of the mind, is that we have a lot of bad maladaptive habits now and then. Everybody does. Even if you don't have a disease or a mental issue, we all have different ways of coping, and therapy kind of cleans and does the dishes of the mind. So I guess the meds matter because my SSRI didn't allow me to think. Oh, yeah. My doctor put me on a medication once, and it was kind of like Ozempic because I need to lose weight. And I had such a bad reaction to it that I don't even know what happened, but I actually had to like apologize to people afterwards. I'm like, hey, I was on a medication that did not do well. That wasn't me. Like, I turned into like a paranoid mess, I think. It was weird. It almost got me fired, but luckily we were able to get through that because the medication interacted with me so badly. So sometimes medication can mess with you. It wasn't even like an SSRI. It was just like a weight loss thing equivalent. Like, it made my heart beat so fast and it made my mood change. The second I stopped taking it, 2 or 3 days later, I was back to normal. So, but so it's just, okay, got it. That's what that was, Omni. A focus thing. So always got to make sure those medications are right. All right. So this person, here's my problem, is they want to be a machine learning developer and a data analyst, but also an intern? Okay, I have to read this. Okay, I don't fully know what this person wants, but I'm going to try to give them help. This is a resume of, I don't know. They put data analyst, machine learning, and then possibly intern. So the problem with this is I don't know which they're looking for, because a data analyst, a machine learning engineer, and a intern are all going to have wildly different skills. So what they told me is they were currently a rising third year searching for a co-op, which absolutely sounds like an astrology sign or something. They've been finding success with your resume, moderate, about 5 interviews in, I think, 150, which is really good. That's actually a really good ratio. If it's 5 interviews and 150 apps, that's phenomenal. I actually wouldn't change anything if that's working. I'm looking for full-time internship co-op positions and want to know if there's anything you could change. Where has some non-data analytics. Okay, so I think you're moving to data and analytics, which is, again, what these keywords are based, but not necessarily the internship. But I will be perfectly honest with you. If your resume is getting you 5 interviews per 150 and it's for internships, that's a phenomenal ratio. That's a 1 in 30, which is amazing for internships. So realistically, I could probably move that down to 1 in 25 to maybe 1 in 20 max, but 1 in 30 is phenomenal. So I would hesitate to even change anything. So the best I can do, because I think you said this is a separate one, is shrink this down to 2. Keep the dean's list for sure. Keep this. I guess 3 would work. I don't know if I need this. Technical knowledge is not really huge. I'd really rather see it here. Also, fix your formatting to this. Build a relationship with SQL, Microsoft Access. So I think SQL is good. We do like Excel and Office Suites, AI Assistant, Python and SQL, AI. Yeah, we do have a little bit of those. So you already actually can kind of see that you have some of these keywords, but my problem is I'm not exactly sure what you want, so I wouldn't fully do this. But just on a formatting wise, keep it like this. This is what you really want. This is a little hard to read because it's kind of bunched up, and if you notice, these are not on the same line. You don't need these lines under work experience or education. You can just leave it like this. That is why I have these italicized, is it basically acts as sort of a line break itself. So, but you definitely should keep this. Probably just fix the formatting a little bit and you'll probably get like a 1 in 20, 1 in 22. But even though I'm not sure which keywords you want, I can already see you have some of them, because I see a lot of API. I see Python and SQL. I see Microsoft Access. I see AI. I think I would like one as Excel if you're doing with data analyst, but that's not as needed if you're doing the machine learning. So overall pretty good. And if you have a 1 in 30 ratio, I wouldn't even change anything. I think you're good. just tighten up the formatting a little bit, but that's all I could really do for this one. If anybody needs any more help, please drop by my live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST till about 2 p.m. And that's at twitch.tv/Headless Headhunter. And if you need more help, submit them below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm here to help you all out. And I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. I'm actually happy with that ending. I guess the meds. I'll end my anecdote saying it was the opposite for me. No meds gave me a manic episode. No. I mean, I was on different medication. It was just specifically those meds meth with me, but I was on other ones. But yeah, I get it, and I don't want you to say stuff that you're not comfortable with. So, how do you handle some college but no degree? So you put in education? I wouldn't. Unless like. If you didn't graduate, then I guess, okay, you know what, the big question is, are you planning on graduating? Like, do you only have another semester left? Or is this a case of you're not going back and you haven't completed it? Because what they did here is fine, which is maybe hard to see, but they just said to present, which is fine. You can say you're currently enrolled. Expected graduation date is this. So, let me a little bit note again. I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you. I always forget that I'm muted. Every time. Ah! All right. So if you put the you worked for your company for 10 years. So if you worked in your company for 10 years, so educate. You know what? I need to I don't know how to clarify this, but if your education is not related to the job you're looking for, or you didn't graduate, then it's okay to put it at the bottom. The reason you want to put it up here is so that they don't miss it. But if it's not relevant, then you kind of want them to miss it and assume that you have it. So that's why you want to make sure that's at the bottom in that case. If in your case, I don't know, if you are expected to get it back and complete, yes, but it's also only if those are related to the jobs that you're looking for. Because again, sometimes your PhD could hurt your chances, not increase them. So this is very specific. And I think you said you're in the game space, and I don't know enough about the game space. Like, I would love to recruit for video game stuff. I've not done it. Yeah, like I don't know, because a lot of this stuff is very, very specific. So does 10+ years experience in a company leverage myself the same? Oh, I hate the word leverage. More or less than having a degree. Depends on the manager, but yeah, usually 10 years is pretty solid. 10+ years is definitely the break point. Usually it's like 5 years, but because I mean, you don't really learn anything in the degree. The degree is just sort of like a certificate saying you did it. But I think 10+ years is fine. Where did you get the Raging Wolf helm from? Because that looks really cool. Badgers are in for watching Elden Ring during the Shadows of the Erd Tree. Okay, that was where. Neat. I need to beat Rogue Trader, and then I'm going to go. Oh, yeah. Apparently watching it through the promo. So, I would like... also, just to let everybody know, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get a free sub to any channel. So I will ask for your free Prime sub, but I will not ask you to spend money otherwise. So you finally beat Inspection 33, absolute shambles. Wait, did it stumble the ending? Is the ending bad? Like, I've been sort of trying not to hear anything about it because I don't want to be spoiled, but if the ending's bad, I want to know. Oh, you're in shambles. Okay, okay. You're in shambles. That's fair. No, it's definitely a game I want to play, but I gotta beat Rogue Trader first. I gotta beat Rogue Trader first. Also, hold on. I think this person doxed themselves. Kind of. I'm never sure because they took out their number, but they didn't do their name, so I'm assuming this was intentional, but, you know, whatever. I'll just keep it like this anyway. I mean, I want to play it. It's a game that is definitely on my list. All right? So right now my game list is beat Rogue Trader 40K because it's so far amazing. Then I'm probably going to go back and play start a run of Ceruleum Ultimate because it's just a really big patch that has changed the game and added sort of like a hard mode that I want to play. And then if that Expedition 33 is on sale, I will probably get that. Yeah, 40K. I love 40K. I read The Infinite and the Divine. The Infinite and the Divine is amazing. That is like one of the best Warhammer books, along with anything involving Ulthrak, whose name I can't remember. That orc is the best. Then I finally started Takes Two and High Rush. High Rush is a game that is on my list, but I'm bad at rhythm games. Oh, it's on Game Pass. Okay. Takes Two is great though. Takes Two is great. Literally saw a deep dive video on it today. The Infinite and the Divine. I love The Infinite Divine. The Infinite Divine is one of my favorite books. I know everybody's going to tune out when I talk about Warhammer, but The Infinite and the Divine is so amazing because it's basically 2,000-year-old men arguing with each other across 60 million years, and they're just very petty and pathetic, and I love it. And the court scene was hilarious. I mean, Trazen gifted him a Gene Stealer as a prank. It's great. Trazen the Infinite is one of my favorites. All right. This person said, since graduating in May, I should probably get the gamepad. Trazen gifted Orican a Gene Stealer. I use the word gifted. And by gifted, I mean he told him there was something special in a tunnel and did not tell him it was a Gene Stealer. But he didn't know it was this was before the Tyranids even came, so he didn't know it was a Gene Stealer in the first place. He just knew it was a monster. So, which leads to a lot of other stuff. Trazen's the best. He's my favorite character. And then it's that and Call. Call and Trazen are the best. I like the Gene, not Gene, I think it was the Gene Father, and then the other one that was the sequel to that. Yeah, Trazen's the best. He's like, I want him to be in Warhammer Tacticus, because that is one of the gotchas I play. Oh, shoot. I need to actually fix this. We also have an ad in like a couple of seconds. That's kind of why I'm waiting on the time. So, the recent Call thing I watched was about Alpha Primus. Yeah, the book that he had recently was what I read. Was him and on a planet, or it was him versus Fabius Bile. That was it. Front, back, full. Excuse me. Oh, I hate my acid reflux. I hate it so much. Java, Python. Why am I forgetting C? But yeah, that's great. I also tried getting into like a few of the others. I do like Caiaphas Cain books. So it's basically Trazen, Caiaphas Cain, and then Ulthrak. What is his name? Mecha Stomper or something? Ulthrak is great. He's one of my favorite orcs. And then I also read Grazgrill Thraka, Prophet of the Orcs. Yeah, the two Fab Boys going head to head. I mean, technically, a YouTuber gives me opinions, but it makes opinions on the games. That's also fair. Warhammer is a genre which I love the world, but I will never play the actual tabletop game. But the Rogue Trader is great. Like, if you want a great introduction to Warhammer, Rogue Trader is phenomenal. So, all right, we have a minute till an ad, and then I will review this. Yeah, the actual miniatures are for, like, the 1%. No, like, the miniatures themselves. I'm not going to spend $80 to paint stuff. I don't like painting. I am a creative person. I am not an artist. So anything that involves me having to do art itself, I don't typically like. So hence that. I mean, I did go on like some like picture painting things once or twice, which, you know what? I realized I made the most cursed picture. Let me tell you know what? Give me like a minute during the ad. I will show you the picture I made. I want to be clear to everybody. This was supposed to be an island in the sea under the moon. All right. Island in the sea under the moon. And then I made something that was sort of cursed with that, which I will show you because I'm very proud of it. It's one of the few artistic things I'm proud of. During the ad break, I will bring it back. Hi, Bear. Did you come see me just as I'm about to leave? I mean, I'm not leaving, but okay. So give me a second. I will bring it back, and you guys and gals are going to be like, what the hell? Because remember, it is a island into the water under a moon with a single palm tree. That's what it was supposed to be. I also need to use the restroom anyway, so it works. Okay. Aha! I got it. All right. I will wait until people could like trickle it in a second, but I think it's hilarious. All right. And then I'll do the resume. Got 20 seconds left on it. So remember, moonlit island with a palm tree in the ocean. That is what it was supposed to be. And I don't know why I'm so proud of it, but I like it. This is one of the only pictures I've drawn that I liked. And I don't know if this says more about me or not. Okay. Let's see if it can be shown. So this is the picture that I've liked. I drew it in a class with an ex-girlfriend before I met my wife. But I'm really happy with this picture. And it was supposed to be a moonlit isle with a palm tree in the ocean. And this is what I drew. And I'm really proud of it. And I don't know why. I don't know why I drew it like this. I can't tell you. I just started drawing, and this is, and I've kept it, and I am very proud of it. And I feel like this says more about me than anything else. Right? I basically drew like an eldritch abomination and an evil sunflower. So, that's the, only piece of art I'm happy that I've ever drawn. All right, is my phone still not charging? Can we charge real quick? Okay, there we go. Now it's charging. So yeah, that was what I drew, and then everybody looked at it and went, "What the hell, Lee?" All right, I needed that. What was I looking for? Right, the video start. I have a template for my own video start. All right. What did this person say? Since graduating, wait, is this the right one? Yeah. Since graduating last year, I've been actively applying to software engineering positions in line. Despite numerous applications for roles I'm well qualified for, I haven't secured an interview or had the opportunity to connect with the hiring manager. It's been a challenging and humbling process, but I'm remaining persistent. Opportunity to build an eagle chance that might contribute to a team. Okay. Do I know? I know already what the issue with is, but no. Okay. This is all I can do. 3, 2, 1. I am the Headless Headhunter. I am a corporate recruiter here to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. So the first resume we have up is a software developer. And they have graduated last year with a degree in a CS degree, which is computer science degree. And they've been actively applying to positions, and they haven't really gotten anything. Their ratio is 100 to 1. What a ratio is the volume of applications to interviews, basically a 1 in 100. So it takes them 100 applications to get a single interview, which is not good. Ideally, we want about... Normally, you want 1 to 50 at a bare minimum. That's like a C- equivalent in that it barely passes, but it does pass. But as a fresh grad, even if the fresh grad was a year ago, we do 1 to 75. So this is probably going to be bad, but not like awful. But let's see what the problem is. And the problem is probably that they don't specify what they are, because they just said software developer. Let's see. It's dedicated software developer, editing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, don't care. So here's... The biggest problem with a software engineers in general, right? Biggest problem with software engineering resumes is they do not pick a stack. I don't know how to code, obviously. I'm not here to tell you how to code in Python or Java or whatever. I'm telling you what hiring managers and recruiters want to see in a resume. And for some reason, which is beyond me, but I do know this works, is they want to know that you are specified in either front end, back end, or full stack. And if you are specialized in backend, you need to be specific of Python, Java, or C. They rarely like resumes to have all of those. So we need to pick either full stack, backend, or front end. And I do know that full stack is both backend and front end, but they have different keywords. So unfortunately, that is the case, and that's probably where this fails. Because they all have very different keywords they're looking for. And I'm not telling you need to be like, you need to specialize during college. I'm telling you that you need to focus on a certain stack for your resume, because the resume is not to showcase how good you are. Resumes stink at showing how good you are. What they are to show you have the minimum qualifications. So I'm assuming, based on the fact that they put software developer, that they're not being specific, which is why they're having a problem. So again, we do not need this. And where's your education? You said you graduate. Education should be at the top, especially for software engineering. Even if you've been like working at it for 10 years, the only exception is if you didn't get like a CS degree or something, then you don't want to put it up at top. So yeah, education, you got your CS, put that up top. That's really huge. That should be up top. Also, I have to scroll slowly because this person accidentally doxed himself. So they have a summary. I don't care about summaries. You don't need summaries. What you need should look like this: first name, last name, phone number, email, LinkedIn portfolio, and then citizenship status and city and state if you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder, and then your education in 1 line or 2 if you have like another degree, and then your work history or projects. So yes, education needs to be at the very top. People argue the most with me about that, but I don't know why. It's in the job description. They need to see it, especially for a fresh grad. So that's one of the reasons. Now, taught core software engineering topics, including data structure, algorithm, the full stack using. Here's the problem. You said Python, Java, and C. If I was looking for full stack, which I can get the list of, by the way, I have the keywords for front end, back end, specifically Python and Java. I don't have C backend keyword saved, and full stack. Those are going to be different keywords, right? Like a full stack keyword would be, can I pull it up in time? Would be this. Okay, that's full stack. A backend, let's say Python, which is, no, that's the EU version. Okay, a backend Python would be this. You're probably gonna have to pause it. And yes, there are overlaps like SQL, Cloud, and API. But the difference is a backend Python is probably going to focus, they want to see a little bit more about like Docker, Kubernetes, and Django. Alternatively, a full stack wants to see JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, in addition to maybe React.js. So your keywords matter. So this is fine. Even if you've done all of that, I need you to break this down into separate resumes where it just says taught core software engineering, taught Python, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, 2 other classes. And then on another resume, it says taught Python, Docker, Kubernetes, I think, or Java. So you need to break it down. The problem is generalized resumes do not work. Not just for software engineering, just in general. Generalized resumes, they stink. They just don't work. They never do. And I need to see how you use these. All right, you cannot just put a little skills section. It doesn't count. So to summarize, formatting is slightly off in that your education is at the bottom and they may not even get down that much. But a bigger issue is that you don't focus. Focus on the resume. Again, it's a snapshot of how you're qualified with a certain thing. Even if you did more, that's okay. You don't need to mention it. Like here, CI/CD, cool. That's actually good to know. But LLMs, maybe not. RESTful APIs, probably useful. AWS, but I don't know if you've done JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. I don't know if you've done Java microservices and Spring. I don't know if you've done Python, Docker, and Kubernetes and Django. Those are going to be sort of the differences. So let me know in the comments below when I have those keywords. Again, I don't have C. It's been a while since I did a C resume, but I have the keywords for basically every other stack or Ruby. Please somebody send me a Ruby on Rails resume. I haven't reviewed those in ever. So, but that's all I can really do with this resume is essentially it's not focused. So the formatting, again, is not the worst. It's legible and it could be slightly better, but it's legible. The problem is there's really not a ton here. Git is good, like I said, AWS and RESTful, but you're sort of missing SQL, this big chunk, and then possibly this chunk depending on what it is. So that's all I can do. If you all want more help, I look up these keywords on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at Headless Headhunter. Nope, at twitch.tv/Headless Headhunter. Also, the link is below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let's go to the next resume. Or submit your own. It's all free. I like helping people. Next resume. Okay, this is never going to be AR. Adjusted for market, obviously. Do I add all of my experience? Add all that's related. Like I was a private investigator for 3 months. I would not put that on there. But yeah, it really needs to be everything that is related. So your resume is not all of your experience. It is not your work history. It is a snapshot of your work history for a specific thing. So it doesn't, like if you're applying for a Java developer and you probably wouldn't use Excel. Like typically Excel is one of the few things where you don't need to put it is for this type of resume, right? Like normally I say you need Excel in MS Office. You don't really need that in software engineer. So it doesn't matter if you did it because it's not related. You put everything that is relevant, which is a big thing I think that most people mistake is it's not your career. This is not a showcase of your career. It's a snapshot of your most relevant experience for this position. Excuse me. I really wish I could do stuff for acid reflux. I already take like Tums and everything, but I cannot stop it. So structurally a potential employer would rely on LinkedIn to track the experience. Well, no, because they wouldn't care, right? Like, let me try to think of a good example. All right. You're interested in Warhammer, right? Warhammer 40K. We just talked about that. You know of it. It would sort of be like me trying to tell you, you know what I really want to talk about? Dungeons and Dragons 2.0. You wouldn't care. Maybe you do, but probably not. You're caring about Warhammer. You want to know about Trazen. You want to know about Oregon. You want to know about Caiaphas Cain, Hero of the Imperium. You don't really want to care about Mystra from Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realm because it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that you did all this other stuff. It matters what the company can use. And there's no nice way to put that. It just, you know, you don't go to a, like, if you go to a restaurant and you say, I want a plate of spaghetti, and they say, well, wait a minute, what about, in addition to spaghetti, what about pizza and a vanilla shake and a sandwich? You don't care. You want the spaghetti. Everything else is irrelevant. Sometimes clubs can be useful to put on because if the manager or recruiter knows what that club is, it's beneficial and it gives them something to talk about. But in most cases, if it's not related to the job, it doesn't belong in the resume because they don't care. Like, it doesn't matter if you spent 5 years at the FBI. They need somebody to man the cash register. And even one of the job descriptions said, and do boring code, right? So even if it's impressive, it doesn't go there. Like, again, I was on a helpline. That is where I learned a lot of stuff. I wouldn't really include that on my resume anymore because I would have too much recruiting experience. But that was sort of where I even got my start. So it has to be related to the job, because if it's not in here, it doesn't matter. Like, look at this. This is for a R&D engineer, but like, look, they want biomedical. They probably don't care about aerospace, right? That's what they care about. Well, I also got initial what you say makes sense. I will await my resume for a proper breakdown. Got it. Yeah. And that's a big problem, is people think what is important to them. Hey, Tiffany, how you doing? I will never pronounce the name right. Welcome. But yeah, it's never what's important to you. It's what's important to the person reading it or the company. Because like this, they don't care that you've done, even if you spent 5 years in aerospace, which is hot right now, they don't care. They want biomedical or medical device. So unless you were implementing stuff like medical devices implanted in the planes, they don't care. And while Excel is good for most companies, they don't care here. They want CAD or SolidWorks. So if it's not in the job description, or more accurately, if it's not in the combination or aggregate of a bunch of job descriptions, it doesn't matter. Like, your 5 years of aerospace design doesn't matter for this job. Now, they can use it that you are experienced as an engineer, but they don't really care beyond the length of time because it's not biomedical. So, how goes your, that is such an adorable little, what is that, Manuka Waven? That's so cute. Is that like a VTuber or something? I need to see where this is. Subscribe to Monogabee's channel, with 40, okay, Monogabee, you have adorable little emotes. Those are hilarious. Who is this person? She is hilarious. I love those little emotes. Those are adorable. I'm gonna follow. I hope they're not horrifying. VTuber artists. Yeah, they're very cute. Those are good little thumbnails. All right. The next one is a software engineer. Wow, this is, again, all software engineers. I know I have a lot of them, but they seem really bunched up lately. Huh. Okay, and I think this person doxed themselves, too. No, they didn't. The next two did. Well, the next one may have. The other one didn't. Okay. There we go. Hide for me. I was a VTuber once. Back in the day, which I think is funny because I can legitimately say I was the first ever recruiter VTuber in the world, even if it didn't work out. I was a recruiter VTuber, and it's really weird knowing that you did something for the first time in human history, even if it is not relevant. And it's something about that makes me very prideful that I was the first ever in the world ever of the VTuber recruiter. Completely irrelevant. I would not see. That's the thing. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. Would not include it going to prospective clients, right? Like, I wouldn't go like, and I'm the first VTuber of recruiters ever. I'm the first recruiter VTuber. They wouldn't care. I care. So, do I know if this is? I think this is full stack, actually. Okay. What did this person say? Looking for a job since 2024. The freelancing experience is just for a sake. What do you mean just for a sake? Although I did some small freelance, they weren't on Upwork. Okay. This is another software engineer. Actually, looking at this, the next one is a full stack, then software, then backend. So this is almost entirely software engineering. Well, no, it is entirely software engineering. But this person has been looking for, I think, a month less than the previous person. So June 2024, or a month more. Yeah, less. And their ratio is actually a little bit worse. It's 150 to 1. So that means it's taking them 150 applications to get an interview. And considering they also said software engineer and they did not specify as front end, back end, full stack, and if back end, if it was Java, Python, or C, or maybe Ruby, please somebody send me a Ruby on Rails resume. I really want to review a Ruby on Rails resume. They were huge when I first started recruiting, and now they're like, I've never seen them. So, but yeah, I'm assuming the same thing as last time. Although I will say the previous person's formatting is better than this. So first off, you just graduated, put your education up at top. Education should always go up top. Technical skills sections, don't want them, don't need them. Seriously, they are not helpful unless you're like a director. Because it doesn't matter that you say you've used JavaScript. I need to see how and why you've done it. Okay, that's the big thing. So, but the previous person had better success, and I think you can see why, is that their formatting was a little bit better, so they could actually read a few. And if I look at this, they actually had a little bit more keywords in the previous resume. So the previous resume was better than this one. They had a little bit more. It's still not good though. So SQL is good. Next.js and React. Azure is good. Cloud. What kind of cloud? Azure cloud. That's fine. So that makes sense. Although I don't know. You could have just accrued to Azure cloud development. But yeah, so here's the problem. This only has like 2 or 3 things I want. And again, I don't know if they're full stack, front end, or back end. Which this don't do this. I did this originally on one of my guides because I was debating doing it, and I've since come around to realize that it just doesn't count. I'm sorry. It's not good. Don't have the tech stack used. It needs to be in the bullet points. You need to show how you used it. But if this is, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is front end, back end, or full. Let's see. Full stack. Okay, so this is at least full stack using React, Node, and Flutter. I don't care about Flutter. Chrome, WebSockets don't care about. CI/CD don't care about. AWS I do care about. But where's the TypeScript, the Python, the JavaScript, the CSS, the HTML? You don't always need the Python. Python's nice, but I do need the TypeScript. You have it here. Where is it here? I need it here. I need to say created or led a development using TypeScript, HTML, CSS, and like where's the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS? That is huge. The Node is great, but yeah, I don't care about that. MongoDB, where is it? Don't see it here. I need to see it here. Cannot just say used X. I need to see it here, how you used it and why you used it. Let's see. Design, build to maintain operational excellence. Don't care about any of that. Build scalable notifications for React Native. React is nice. Yeah, so you didn't specify, but although it does read more like a full stack, and this is the keywords for a full stack. These are the saved keywords for full stack. But you need to focus on this because I don't care about the rest of it. And I saw a LinkedIn post, right, that I am completely stealing because I think this is the best way to describe it. And I wish I could remember the person who wrote its name. So it is officially stolen. But essentially, if you go to a restaurant and you say, hey, I would like some spaghetti and I would like a Dr. Pepper. And they hand you back a chocolate milkshake and a pizza, you would be upset. And you'd be like, cool, I like both of those things. I don't want them right now. I want spaghetti and a soda. Preferably Dr. Pepper or Pepsi. Both of them work. And they don't give you that. They say, okay, sorry, let me go back. So they come back in the restaurant, they redo it out, and they give you a salmon and a egg cream. And you're like, that's not what I wanted. And that's the exact problem here, is jobs are specified to what the hiring manager wants, and they're usually broken down specifically into full stack, back end, front end, and if back end, which one of those stacks. And everything else is irrelevant. I am sure that accelerating release cycles by 40% and reducing deployment errors by 70% is impressive, but it's not something I care about. And I'm not doing this to be mean. I'm not saying your accomplishments are worthless. it's not relevant. And that's the problem, is it's not what I want to see. A resume is by itself designed terrible at showcasing how good you are. The resume shows you meet the minimum qualifications, which is why you need to put JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and TypeScript, because those are the minimum qualifications. And then in the interview, you show how you meet the maximum. That's where you show off. The interview is where you show off, but not with the recruiter, with the hiring manager. So again, there's not really anything you can do. The formatting is worse than the previous one, and it has less keywords, and those keywords are in the wrong places, which is why the previous resume, even though it may have looked less pretty, was more successful, and its formatting was better. So it still also needs work, but it's comparatively better. So I think this is actually really good that you can see a comparison. So let's go to the next resume. A VoD? Ooh, I don't like any of those names. It would be a Recruituber. A Crouton? None of those names are good. Used Python by installing Python on my computer and writing code with it because the company wanted to, resulting in Python code being written. I know why what. It's easy as that, folks. Honestly, kind of close. Like, used Python by creating Python things on my computer, as that was what my manager requested. I mean, you're actually kind of close to a good bullet point there, which I think is funny. I do want a Ruby on Rails resume. Because like when I first started, it was everywhere, and I don't know anything about it now. Like, I would have to look everything up, but I still would want to know. What was I doing? Right, I was putting in the previous resume so I can put it in the right place. Documentation and paperwork, they make the corporate world go round. All right, so this person's name is up, but not anything else, so give me a second. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is so bad. 100% time used Python. Employee didn't pay my overtime 0% of the time. It's yeah. That's what you want. 100% of the time, you want to be able to use Python, and you want your employer to not pay overtime 0% of the time. I'm gonna do it when I'm a senior dev with a stable job to see if I can catch anyone. You probably could. I bet you could. Ugh. I think my allergies are slowly dissipating. Because, like, I can breathe through my nose, actually. Oh, this is full stack. They actually told me full stack. Yes. I saw your last video and curious without my resume that you can apply. I just graduated software school. What is software school? All right. Well, this is going to be a... Yep. Colors. See, I do wonder if you could add a little bit of it, like, to the title, because the rest of it is, but I still think it's not worth it. Because almost every time a resume catches my attention, it's because it's bad. And the worst resume, I think, formatting-wise, that I've ever seen, biggest problem with it, again, it didn't have anything in the bullet points, but it looked like it was of a photo that got taken and then, like, run through a printer. And then... I think it was single column. It had somebody's picture, but it looked like a picture of a high schooler, like in a high school yearbook. And then their education said they graduated like 40 years ago. They do, but they also, I mean, they don't have any other identifying information. So... But yeah, it looked like they said they graduated high school like 40 years ago, and it looked like a picture of high school. The resume was like gray, and I'm trying to remember what else, but it was weird looking. I did actually look, because I I'm sure that person just didn't know how to write one, and I did actually try to find relevant keywords in the resume to move them forward more than the normal 15 seconds, and I unfortunately couldn't. So, I mean, like, I feel like since they don't have their contact info... Oh, no, they have it at the bottom! Huh. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Can I block this out? How do I don't know how to block this out. I don't know if I should block this out. Should I? Because their information is in the bottom, so I don't want to show that. But I don't know how to review this because it's everywhere. Yeah, like, I'm assuming since it's in GitHub, they want to see it. What cases are where you should bring a resume to the company you want to be hired rather than applying online? Oh. Yep. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I don't know how to... I guess I keep this? I mean, it's on GitHub. I assume this is okay to keep. I am going to make the assumption that this is safe to keep. I'm going to go with the assumption that this is okay to keep in their GitHub, because GitHub is a common directory and you kind of want to show people that, right? Like, so I'm assuming that's okay. Their contact details at the bottom of the resume, no. Yeah. So I'm assuming this is okay. I'm assuming. I hope that is okay. So 3, 2, 1. This is a resume of a full stack developer. This is actually really, really good. They said full stack. So the full stack keywords are TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, MongoDB, SQL, React.js, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and sometimes cross-functionally, and bonus points are for architecture, extra language, and Git. We don't know their ratio, but they just graduated, and they wanted to know what I think about their resume that you've been to apply. This is awful. There are a lot of issues with it. So first off, this person, you have their name in the GitHub thing, so I assume that is what you wanted. You wanted people to go to GitHub. If that is incorrect, I will delete this section of the video and this will just be shorter. So let me know if this is okay to keep in, because there's no way for me to break that out without actually like not being able to review it. So, but also you have a couple of problems with and I'm not talking about the crazy formatting. So first off, your contact information is at the bottom. Don't do that. Contact information goes up top. You do your first name, your last name, your phone number, email, the LinkedIn portfolio. Either one works, or GitHub. GitHub is fine instead of LinkedIn. And then the citizenship status, city and state, if you are a U.S. citizen, a green card holder, and you're applying to that area. Then you put your education. This is an abomination. it's really hard to read. So remember, we have 15 seconds to view your resume. And the problem is, I'm not viewing your resume in a vacuum. I'm not like coming back from lunch, booting up my computer, having a nice cup of coffee and being like, all right, time to use my 15 seconds. There were 30 resumes before you, possibly for different positions. I have recruited for IT at the same time as project managers, as oligonucleotide scientists, as project managers and product managers and sales. It's possible that they are coming from other requisitions that are not related to your industry. So we are doing all of that and 15 seconds. Is a 6 10 full time. Focusing on HTML, JavaScript. Okay, I mean that's nice that it focuses on it, but I need to know how you do, not what the program does. Git and GitHub is fine. Project management issues with GitHub projects. I mean, this is cool, but you have two things that are Git, and you. I don't know what you did here, right? This is fine that it is a full stack something. Database planning registry, I don't care about that. Single page application, React is fine. Modern ETS is, and JavaScript good, and CRUD. I don't care about the CRUD, but this is actually an okay bullet point. Server-side test development with Python, Django, and SQL, utilizing OPO and This is actually a fine way to do it. Your bullet points are actually good, assuming they could even get to it, but the rest of it is bad. So this I don't need, this I don't need. You can safely delete this. I can't scroll down because your contact information's at the bottom for some reason. Driven by a desire for mastery and continuous growth, I thrive on challenges. I'm always eager to learn new technologies. Don't do that. Don't have that. I don't want that. That's not good. That's not going to help you at all. Daily dev is helped. Okay, again, it's okay to describe a little bit about what it is, but this is way too long. Don't care about this. Yeah, but how did you make it? Was it just JavaScript React? You don't tell me. Okay, don't care. Here, built as a capstone project showing front end with Tailwind and architecture. Don't say Tailwind, say CSS. It's very rare they actually say Tailwind. They usually just want CSS. So yeah, your bullet points on your first one are actually not bad. This is not good because you don't tell me what you did, but the rest of it is awful. I mean, this is not good. Just use a basic formatting. Like, seriously, that's kind of the thing that bugs me the most about this is you actually kind of got it right here. This is how you write sentences. These are the stuff we'd want to see. And you have a lot of what we'd want to see. But everything else, I don't. And it's so hard for me to actually find this. And I don't know. I assume that you did the software school instead of CS degree, which is okay. But, like, this resume would be infinitively better if you did not try to do this stuff. And look, I understand liking to be unique, right? That's cool. I get it. It makes sense. You want to be known for stuff, but formatting, the entire point of the formatting is so that I could see the stuff that's highlighted clearer. That's it. And this makes it harder, which is why it fails. And your contact information's at the bottom. So there's a lot of wasted space. And it really makes me sad because you actually had some really good bullet points that people are probably going to miss this because you tried this stuff that you did. So please fix it. And again, if you don't want people to know your GitHub, then let me know and I'll just delete this whole section of the video. But I assumed that you wanted it to be shown based on that, you know, that is what you want and you want people to know. So that's all I can really do for this. It actually has some good bullet points. And I'm just sad that the rest of it is so bad that they'll never know because they may not see it. So let's go to the next resume. This is garbage. We all know human recruiters plugging in job requirements and feeding applications to Gibtify. Compression glazing. Gibbity format is better than this crap. What is Gibbity? Is it ChatGPT? Is that what you're saying? Also, let's try to keep it a little bit PG-13, but, you know, just letting you know. And welcome to the channel. But no, we don't use ChatGPT. I mean, I'm sure some recruiters do, obviously. Not everybody is a monolith, but... Okay, the next person did... that. Next person doxed themselves, I think, their whole time. Apparently that person did too. Everybody's doxing themselves. Stop doxing themselves. Don't give me your phone number. I don't need it. Or your email. Or your name. Do it for the real one, not this. Alright, that's good. Okay. Software engineer. New grad looking for entry-level roles. Okay. What do I even say? I use AI resume builders to tell me what keywords that. I feel like the resume keyword adders might actually be beneficial. I need to be able to test it, but like I feel like that actually might be, because that is based on what I know of AI. That is actually like a large language model, which is what it's good for, which is predicting and essentially aggregating that amount of data. So I'm not against that. I hope it's accurate, but I imagine that is something that would be more accurate than a human would do. It just, the problem is, would it get it right? And I don't know. Okay. See, I don't know if that's an accurate ratio. Why do you think the job market is ass currently? It's a combo of factors. I mean, the very simple basic explanation is it's supply and demand, and when the supply of jobs is low, but the demand for jobs is high, the job market is bad. So anything that decreases the supply of jobs and increases the brain farted. Anything that increases the amount of applicants and decreases the amount of jobs is going to hurt it. And right now we've had, in the US government at least, a large amount of layoffs, a large amount of companies the government has been laid off. A lot of people that are switching careers because a lot of positions don't pay enough to really survive. And COVID, companies sort of assumed COVID growth will go forever, which they didn't. So it's basically a large combo of a bunch of different stuff. In the software realm is a oversaturation and an undersaturation of actual jobs. But also, S-poop is apparently not considered cussing in many places, including my home country. No, that is weird. I know, like, in the Britain, there's a couple of words that are not curse words that are here and vice versa. Yeah. So the problem is you want immigrants in your company. Immigrants create jobs. Like, they pay taxes. They do stuff. But, yeah, all those jobs are not here. And that's the big problem of why the job market is bad. Is the government has laid off a lot of people. The Doge cuts, terrible for the job market. Companies are scaling back, and because people don't have enough money, they're not buying in a lot of stuff. And because of that, those companies are not hiring stuff. So AI has definitely hurt, but there's also the case of outsourcing, which is pretty bad, outsourcing from the country. And that, like, you know, a lot of jobs now in the UK and the US, well, at least in the US, are outsourced, that were entry level, that allowed you to sort of get your foot in the door, were outsourced to other countries. So there's a lot of reasons why the job market is bad. But at a functional level, the very, very bare basics, Pixel, is anything that decreases the supply of jobs and increases the demand of jobs is gonna make it worse. And right now, there's a lot of that stuff because the government has decided to be very anti-job. I don't know why. The U.S. government decides to be very anti-job and anti-business. So there's a lot less jobs to go around. And because of the Doge cuts, there's more competition. And because companies thought COVID would last forever, that the money they made there would stay forever, then they're not getting the profits they thought of. So they're laying off. And then because of all of that, you have a bunch of other stuff too. So, but yeah, that's why, and it sucks. So Outsourcing to my home country of worse worker rights and toxic culture. Yeah, it's not good. Like, I have worked with those people too, and they're treated very poorly, and I don't like that. Like, I don't like even how we treat the people that are outsourced. Like, I've helped train some of them before, and I'm really sad of how people treat them and how we treat them. So, oh, and the tariffs are making everything cost more too, so there's less jobs for that. So it's all bad all around, and that's why I think it's probably going to get worse unless those things stop. But it seems like this administration is very set on hurting job seekers, and I don't want to get too into politics on that because people get banned for that stuff, but I don't know why they do that. It's very bad for the economy. That's all I can really say. So, I wish there was better news. I wish I could tell you the job market's going to improve tomorrow. I actively want to be wrong. I make more money when the job market is better. I want the job market to be better. That is when people pay recruiters more. I actively want it to be better, and I really want to be wrong. I want to be exceptionally wrong. I want to be so wrong that the job market is not going to improve recently. I want it to today, while I'm saying this, the stock market to go up and people are hiring in a frenzy. That is what I'd like. I would love to be wrong. I think it's great to discuss the wash off into jobs being affected by government policy than discussing politics. Yeah. And this administration is just bad for jobs. I mean, that's kind of unfortunately the case. I don't know why, and I don't want to get into why because that's way beyond me. But they're very bad for jobs, and they want to make it harder for businesses to hire, less pay for people, and yeah, so they're bad for jobs. Unfortunately, they are. They are actively doing things that are worsening the job market. So why they're doing it, different channel. All I know is that they're doing it. All right. This is why am I doing that with my face? Why am I itching in time to the beat? That's just weirdly. All right. This is a resume of a software engineer. What kind? Again, I don't know. I'm going to guess based on the one bullet point I was able to read that this is a front-end dev in the US, which I'm going to guess. So this is front-end in the US. I don't know if this is actually a front-end resume or not. I have no idea. But this person is a new grad looking for entry-level roles. I think they said their ratio is good, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. So let's see. So first off, formatting could use a little work. It's not terrible though. I think this is one of the better ones. This should not be bolded and should be one line. This doesn't need to be here. This should not be bolded. But we start with SQL, which is good. I don't really care about Snowflake or 20%. Then we have Agile, which is good. Then we have PyTorch, which can be depending on the job. So again, I don't know what this is, but I am looking for SQL and Agile. Then web and mobile, we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and C#. Boom. This alone will get you interviews. Reducing patient retrieval time by 25%. I don't really care about the 25%. .NET. Okay, good. Those are, I think this is a C. This might be a full stack with a little bit of C. So I don't have those off the top of my head. So I don't think these are the right keywords. This actually reads more like a full stack with C#, which is good because I do know .NET Core and is part of that. And API, Java, Kotlin, and Swift. Okay, so you need to focus a little bit, but I can actually see that why this resume is getting stuff is you have a lot of the keywords. I think you need to focus on this because it's kind of in between like a full stack and then maybe a back end. And depending on both Java and, again, Java and C. But this actually isn't bad. That's probably why they're getting a lot of, their ratio is relatively good. So, yeah, all you really need to do is fix the formatting and then focus a little bit. And then add 1 or 2 bullet points with those focus keywords, and I think you're good, but you have a lot of it. Oh, that's why this is Android and iOS. Yeah, this is solid. So yeah, you just want to split it into a full stack resume and then a iOS/Android resume, and then maybe a third one or not, but this is not bad. You have a lot of the keywords I would be looking for. Again, the formatting is a little off, but I would rather have bad formatting than bad bullet points. The bullet points are the most important thing. The formatting's only point is to find the bullet points, and while your formatting isn't great, it's not the worst. It's like a C- formatting. So, yeah, you just need to clean it up a little bit. And I think that's it. Add a couple of keywords to this and focus, and you should be good. But this is the best resume of this bunch so far. So, because I can actually at least see the full stack stuff here of that, and then sometimes they use C# instead of that Python. But you have the Agile, you have the API. I would recommend Cloud if you could have it, if you do have it. But yeah, so focus, fix the formatting a little bit, and your ratio is probably going to be even better than 1 in 25. It could possibly be 1 in 15, 1 in 20. I mean, at that point, between 1 in 25, 1 in 20, I know that's a minimum difference of 5 applications interview, but, you know, there's only so low you can go, but that's still a phenomenal ratio. Let's go to the next resume. Okay. Wow, I have been on a roll today. I've almost done I've done 10 resumes. That doesn't sound as impressive. Well, no, don't play it. Okay, sorry if there's feedback. I clicked the wrong button. I have a question for who want to change directions and how to write. Yeah, go for it. Is that person you? They have an educator role. In-house. How can they edit? To do a pure AI developer role. You know, I don't know if they would need to pivot that much. So actually getting into a job soon, probably gonna write a contract this week. Yeah, you go. I hope I have helped, but regardless, I'm glad you got it. So what is the job title? AI developer? Is that the role? Is it AI agent engineer? AI ML engineer, probably. LLMs, bonus points, benefits. Yeah, I mean, so here's kind of the thing that I found out is a lot of these AI roles, you do need AI, but you need to do a ton. Like, most of it's still sort of the basis. So AWS is good, but like we do need to see like NLP or machine learning, and then probably like PyTorch or something, and then a little bit of language. But it's not a terrible different from a normal software resume. By the way, do people try to hijack your chat to fast forward, get their resumes checked? Kind of trying to avoid this, but chatting with screen human live triggers primal parasocial instincts. I mean, people ask. So I don't remember how long you've been here, Twitch, but I have a skip the line function in my channel points. So if you have that, you can use it to skip. But other than that, they can try, but I don't give them that. It's just like, I'm okay with you asking other questions. The resume line is the line, and I don't want people to have to pay to move forward with it. And technically, if you get a Twitch Prime sub, you get the points faster, which I don't like, but I can't really change that because I can't stop people from subscribing, and I want to make sure that is a feature. So India, all the home country masking. But yeah, basically just like there's a like, you can give Bear a treat or you can skip the line. So, oh, they're lacking because, like, okay, so remember, hands-on experience is good, but that's not what I need to see. I need to see, have they done any projects with AI? Like, how have they used AI? That's what I care about. It's possible they may not need hands-on stuff. I mean, it's always beneficial, but it's not the only way. My acid reflux has been destroying me today. How does one who is shifting industry consider software similar to used? For example, it was looking for a specific. Oh, yeah, that's actually easy. Here, let me get. Oh, that was what I was missing. I was missing my writing page. See, I knew I was forgetting something. That is your brackets, and your brackets will be your friends. So, this is how. Let's say you. Why is it like that? All right. So you said CRM like Salesforce, but the individual uses internal. Okay. So here's how you do that. Used a what is CRM stand for again? Oh shoot. Stand for every acronym. Customer relationship. Used a customer relationship. Ignore this spelling. Management. CRM. Software. I mean, you could just do this. You may not even have to mention it. Like, yeah, if you don't have it, like software to do X, Y, and Z. And then I do have Grammarly installed. Oh, I love Grammarly for fixing that. Thank you. Is a dyslexic's best friend. No, it's great. Well, you can set it so that it only does the spell check. There are settings that you can change. Okay. My wife disagrees and said that Grammarly is not good because it slows her down all the time. So that was what that argument was. Not an argument. That was what we were talking about. I love her. But they should still keep like educator and have a bullet touching developed in-house. They can. I mean, this is going to be resume specific, but like, you know, that's one way to put it. Or taught X and Y, right? Like taught X and Y. Like, did they teach the AI? Let me look up LinkedIn search syntax. Wife, probably. That is, yeah, that's what my wife looks like. Absolutely. So she doesn't want to be on camera. That's why she's not here. Should she be, honey, can we refer you as Roseless Headhunter or Rose Hunter? Her lack of response tells me everything. She was still on Grammarly. They're talking about you in chat. I know you're here. She is done with it. Her thing today is cleaning and finishing up free rent. No, she finished free rent. They teach AI Cloud. Okay, that's good. She is the head. Yeah. So in that case, you can just say taught. AI topics such as NL. What was it? I forgot what neuro potatoes language. Language. I forgot what NLP stands for, and then you can put NLP, machine learning, ML, and X, and then maybe about Y. So yeah, you can just put it there because if they taught it, that's good. So yes, my wife is a pumpkin today. We are cleaning the house, and she is watching anime. So I need to show her Delicious in Dungeon, and we... Oh, it's a pumpkin head. I get it. That makes sense. I thought that would way less than saying developed. I mean, it depends. Like, did you teach toddlers or did you teach grown adults, and did they succeed at it? But no, and it really depends. Because, like, if you can teach something, it's assumed you know it. Which is not always true, but that's the assumption. So regardless of whether that's true or not, it's how you do it. So, anyway, did that answer both of your questions? I know Tiff, I think I answered yours, Tiff, and then Twitch and Ruffled, did that answer yours? I hope it did. We're coming into the last ad of the stream. So, Good. I mean, look, if you can in a single class teach toddlers and industry vets, that's impressive. Like, as somebody who teaches people stuff, that's like incredibly and massively impressive, because those are very different learning styles. Especially toddlers. Like, can you do what? I've not taught toddlers. The lowest age level I've taught was, I think, 5-year-olds. I was, when I was sort of figuring out what I want to do, I was a special education substitute teacher for one of the most common classes was I think 5 to 6-year-olds. It was special education for 5 to 6-year-olds. I don't know if that's what they call it now. So technically different classes. Yeah, I mean both. Because like showing adults shows how good you are. Teaching children shows how patient you are. And that's huge. You want customer service skills? Be able to teach a class. Those kids will eat you alive. So, and I know that because I really screwed up on my first teaching middle school when I was a substitute for a bit. They destroyed me. That was they destroyed. I think one of them, like, the very first one, the principal was like, so about your first time subbing. And I'm like, that wasn't good and I'm sorry. It's like, yeah, but we can do better. And then after that, I did better. So, yeah, quantum physics in like 5 levels. So this is quantum physics, which is like when an apple is next to an apple and they both move, and then you can go into what adults do. Okay. We have an ad in a second, so. Whew. Technically all game dev related. Yeah, I could see it. But yeah, the brackets are great, especially because after that you never need to use those again. So you can say in the next bullet point, like, with our CRM, Salesforce, Joe, the Arctic Circle, 240 to, wow, did I get more than I could do? Applied only on LinkedIn. I am European. Okay. Is Bear with you? Oh, okay. Oh. Bear has abandoned me. I have absolutely abandoned me. Okay, back-end engineer, but like what kind though? Back-end engineer. Python? In the EU, and I don't... Here it is. So this is Python in the EU at least. All right, back. I mean, look, teaching kids game dev is good. I think that's really cool. Not for much longer redeems Bear snacky time. If you redeem it, he will come running. He will get his treat. He's in my our roommate's my friend staying with this roommate's room. So he is bonded with everybody. He will bond with you very quickly. Like, Bear looks terrifying because he always like runs and barks at people, but he does it because he wants pets. Does this mean that keywords are slightly less important in this case? Would me not using the specified keywords such as Salesforce, for example, have them glaze over the resume? I mean, it's more of a case of what you have, right? Like, ideally, what you want to say is, look, this is a better sense, right? Used Salesforce CRM to do, or Salesforce, our customer relationship management software, to X and Y. Right? Yeah, Bear always gets it. Bear's more popular than me. So that would be better, right? I am aware I spelled it horrifyingly wrong. I don't want to... that. So this is better. But you don't always have that option. So sometimes you can just use this. So you can also say with our... used a customer service software called X, which is equivalent or similar, whichever you want to choose, Salesforce, to do X and Y. So you may have to do something closer to this, which is user customer relationship management, CRM software called X, which is equivalent, I think I spelled equivalent wrong, to Salesforce to do X. Because you have to teach them in your resume, because it's possible they don't know what it is. Excuse me. Like, I've used internal ATSs, and I've said before, which are equivalent to Workday. Because a lot of times they do want equivalencies. Sometimes you get someone that's a stickler for just needing it, but I can afford so many line skips anyway, might as well use a remainder on Growing Bear. No, he has a limit on how many treats he gets. So that's why I'm okay with having that, is he's not going to get overfed because he has a limit. And he's 100 pounds. That's a healthy weight for him. He is not skinny nor fat. And you can feed a big dog like him. I didn't even give you a treat. I ruffled the bag. He's immediately here. I think you could give a dog his size like 8 of these and that would still be fine. So I was like, I picked up the bag and he came here. No, I'm not giving you a treat yet. Yeah, I know. Did you know you're cute though? Hi. Hi. Yes, you are a healthy weight. So, if someone gives him a treat, he can. And again, that's why I'm okay having a treat, is there's a limit of about 5 or 6 per day. And again, he's healthy, so we could give him that much and it wouldn't affect it. All right. I'm ruffling the bag. Barry, you want a treat? Yes, you do. Oh, you got them old man bones. All right. Sit. Stay. Okay. Paw. Touch. Oh, good boy. Good touch. Okay. Can you catch it? 3, 2, 1. Catch. Good boy. Good catch. Oh, I always pet this dog. You know what? Pet bear redeem would be good. I like a pet bear redeem. I think I'm going to add that. I should probably add that. I'm going to make a note to add that. I pet him enough, though, to be clear. I spend hours petting that dog because I don't know what medically this is called, but I have a lot of stims that I do. I always need to be moving. And apparently dogs really like it because you just use that to pet them all the darn time. So dogs like it when you stim. Can I not make a note? Okay, let me make a note to create a pet bear redeem and icon. I should give him an icon. Like my friend made a pet thing. I want to actually do that. So, but yes, he gets a lot of attention. Like all day. Yes, you do. Don't look at me like that. Are you chewing on your toy? Bring me your toy. Bring me your rope. Bring me this. Come here. All right. All right. Can you? No. Here. What I really want to do is I want to get a little flashlight, like a laser pointer, which I had one, but I stupidly lost, and use that because, like a cat, he will chase it. I am not using hyperbole here. He played with the the light on the floor and chased it for a literal hour and a half, like a week ago. I mean, I have a plant. I guess I'll probably pet my snake sleeve. Hi. Okay. Yeah, hi. Okay. Careful, you have sharp teeth and you're very clumsy, sir. Yeah. Okay. I gotta do at least one more resume in this row. Yeah, I know. You are... What? No, let him! I just want to make sure he doesn't bite me by accident. He will not intentionally ever bite you, but he is not careful with those teeth. Actually, it's mainly his claws that are rough. Even though we ow! Don't do that. Don't jump on me. Even though we trim them regularly, they're still sharp. I don't know why this dog has razor sharp claws. Okay. Okay, you're 100 pounds and I don't have a lot of leverage from this angle. Okay, you good boy? Go get it. Good boy. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna throw my shoulder out. He's a big boy. But yeah, it's his claws that always get me. Yeah, it's kind of like all the cats I interact with. They'll play bite or try to knead and I'll get battle scars. Yeah, like he won't play bite. He doesn't really play bite, but it's his claws, and we trim them, and I don't know why, but he always gets them super sharp. So you are a good boy though, Baron. We love you. Yes, we do. Yes, you're our sweet old man. Honey, when is his birthday? Okay, so he turns 11 this August or September. My wife is enjoying her day off. Let me ask one more question. Ask as many questions as you want. This is made so you can ask questions. I just can't answer directly about your resume unless I'm on it, but otherwise ask your questions. How should a bullet point be written to explain experience in a soft skill, such as organizing milestones and communicating with stakeholders? So you kind of have to break it down into whether or not you need to show that you're good at that skill or that you use that skill. So as an example, on my resume, for the barista, so there's this, again, this is my last name. I can dox myself because people know who I am. On this is how you show you did a very good customer service, right? It was this one. So handled a large lunch rush by providing customer service and multitasking, both soft skills, while making their food, which I think I spelled there wrong, that resulted in multiple 5-star reviews on our Google page mentioning me by name. So this shows how you did it. Like if your boss gives you a kudos, you can use that. Because they may not know that a 12% increase equals X, but they do know that when your boss says you do a good job, you did a good job. So this would be sort of how to write a skill you need to show that you're good at. While alternatively, you could also say just interacting with stakeholders. Like as an example, you could just say, I think interacted is too broad though. I would say met with our stakeholders weekly to discuss, project goals, alignments, and future or something, right? Like that just shows that you did it, which is what I needed. I guess a good example for my workplace is how it helps settle a debate on how to make a helicopter move using in-game feedback. Yeah, give it to us. Let's see. But again, you have to determine, are they looking for, did you just do the thing? Or are they looking for, did you do the thing and succeeded at it very well? Because this is how you sort of write that, right? Which is how you did it very well and you succeeded. It's kind of a brag. This is a fine sentence. Met with our stakeholders weekly to discuss project goals, alignment, and I guess project future. And the project's future, whatever. Grammatically different. So. All right, let me do this resume, and then I'll go back. So just attending we can use the bullet point itself. If I lied out or participated in a meeting, should it be included 10? I mean, it can be. It just, like, again, it depends on what, if that's a requirement. But you can say, led our weekly stakeholder meetings, right? Led our weekly stakeholder meetings to discuss project funds in the future. That would be it. So, like, it's okay to just say that too. Like, it really depends. Like, if you're entry level, we don't really care if you led. If you are a senior, we do want to know led. So you could say participated in or whatever, but how did you interact with them too? So consistently attended daily stand-up meetings by joining the Zoom meeting every morning. Yeah, right? That could just be you and 100 others. But typically, goals, alignment in the future. And then you could also say where I explained potential pitfalls and X and Y, right? You can also add to it. But yeah, no worries. Keep asking your questions. This is what it's for. I want to help everybody. So it's okay to say that. Well, y'all already know each other. That would be funny if you actually did know each other, because like you guessed it. It's like, yeah, I know a person in London, and you're like, wait a minute, are you the person on London in the Twitch chat? Okay. I don't have many gaming contacts in the UK. I think I had like one or two, and I think I got them a job. So, mentioned generally bad to have bolded phrases to highlight stuff. Yeah, you don't want bold in your resume. Nothing. Ooh, that might lead to a link. Nothing in. This is hard. It's not going to let me do it. Okay, nothing here should be bolded. Do not bold. All right, let me do this resume. Ask your questions. I will get to them after. But yeah, you do not want to bold. No bolding in the resume. It's usually a bad idea. You should have really very little bolded. Do recruiters want to vary on how they read resumes? I mean, yes, because HR is usually not as trained to handle in volume, which is what it is. That's kind of a topic. I'll get into that in a second. So, let me review this one first, because I need to at least finish this before the end of the stream. So, and this is a Python, I think. All right, 3, 2, 1. This is, I think, a Python developer. So this is the keywords for the European Union Python developer. So this is what we're going to be looking for in a back-end engineer, specifically Python in the EU. It will change a little bit in the US and will change for sure if it's a C or Java developer. So Python, SQL, Docker, Kubernetes, Django, Flask, Cloud, and any of its keywords. So AWS, GCP, Azure, and then like sometimes has like EC2 or whatever, EC2. Those, just a couple of those are nice. RESTful or fast APIs, Git, CI/CD, and a bonus is full stack, DevOps, MLOps, object-oriented programming, and multi-threading. So that is what we're going to be looking for. This person's ratio is 1 to 75, which is not good. Could be worse, but not great. And they say apply only on LinkedIn, which is okay. Again, Indeed and LinkedIn are going to contain like 75 to 80% of most of the jobs. So they are the aggregate. Oh, it looks like they may also be C. I'm not sure. So first off, I don't need a summary. Unless you are changing industries, or there's one other reason you'd want a summary, and I said it today in stream, and my mind is blanking. But unless you are changing your industries, or you need to explain like how a visa works, you don't need a summary. It's not needed. So this can be deleted. Skill sections don't count. Again, I don't want to see it. Also, maybe this person is a C developer and not a Python developer, in which case I don't have that saved. But because I did not know you were a C++ developer, I didn't get those keywords advanced. So unfortunately, you need to be specific. Let me double check. Maybe I do and I'm lying. No, I do not. I do not have C++ saved. So, but yeah, this can be deleted. Again, nothing here. I cannot. This is formatted weird. Nothing here should be bolded. I do not need anything. Also, where's your education? You just graduated. Yeah, you just. Oh no, wait. Do you want an internship? Okay, hold on. The differences in a resume between an internship and a full-time job are massive. So I don't know if you're actually looking for an internship or not, or if you're looking for a full-time job. So those are very different keywords. So yeah, I can't really do much with this. Your formatting's not good. And I think if you literally just deleted this, fixed this, no bullet points, add your education up top, you probably get 1 in 50. Because it's HTTP, GoChill, C++. Yeah, I don't know if these keywords would be right or not, because I didn't look it up ahead of time, because I didn't know. I have to know what kind of software engineer you are. I don't have it off the cuff. I have to look it up. That's what I do. So, but yeah, your formatting's way off, and it kind of makes it hard to read. So just fix the formatting, like I have in the description below. Fix that. Focus on those keywords, and then decide if you're going for an internship or full-time job, because a resume that gets you internships may not get you a full-time job, and vice versa. What internships they're mainly looking for is a basic understanding of the topic, We're talking real basic, even more basic than I normally say, along with the ability to work well with others, take criticism, multitask, and be directed. Not lead, but be directed. While a actual full-time job is going to be looking more for like a deeper understanding of the technical stuff, so those keywords itself rather than just like a couple of them, and hopefully like they don't really need as many soft skills. So that's all I can really do for this. It's just, again, like your formatting's off, and I don't know what you're looking for, because I'm not sure if it's a back-end full-time C++ developer or an internship, because weirdly enough, you don't need to specify what kind of software engineer you are for an intern. I don't know why it works like that, but it just does. So for internships, you do not need to specialize. For full-time jobs after internships where you get paid the money, that is where you need to focus and specialize. So please, if everybody likes this, like, comment, and subscribe. Really does help me out. If you need more help, stop by my Twitch chat, twitch.tv/Headless Headhunter, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. And I want to help as many of you as I can, and I want to make sure that you can get ahead of your job search. I'll see you in the next video. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So yeah, do recruiters working for agencies versus... Oh, for agencies. Okay. So yes, internal and external recruiters work very differently, to the point where they are almost completely separate jobs. So that's a huge topic. Like, I could probably go on the differences between that for like longer than we have. So if you want to remind me next time, I can tell you, but the differences between internal and external is very different. And HR is not usually the one that is doing it. It's usually talent acquisition, which is a little bit different. Although some companies are not big, so they do have the HR do it, which very much does differ because they're not able to handle the volume typically. So, let's see. I do, and what does it get me? Oof. Sometimes in context don't always help. You have entire resume in all caps bold. Yeah, that'll work. Screaming my credentials. Everything is it. You know what? No, hold on. I think I still have this. Can I have this? Let me make sure I still have this. This is the best resume ever. Is it going to show? I don't think this is a... Yeah. This is what you want. All right. This is peak resume. All right. This is the best resume ever. So, it depends on the uni. You have program BS, AOPOG, best of luck. Yeah. Damn, all the best. Easy. We don't want to make more slop, that's for sure. Okay. What did I miss? Is there a reason people put BS C versus BS? I don't know. Technically, CV and resume are different, but nobody uses them interchangeably. So big floppa. It's tricky to build. Are they using... tricky to build is saying they used C++ 20 is kind of like saying they used one new language feature instead of an older workaround. Huh. How do referrals work? Okay, so referrals work in one of three ways. Number one is if you know the hiring manager, you get a freebie to an interview. They know how you work. It's a freebie. Number two, you know somebody who knows the hiring manager. You say, hey, Bob, I know Twitch and Ruffled. They are really good at Twitch chat. You need to interview them. So you skip the line. Third is from other people in the company. Sometimes that gives you a skip the line function to be seen by the recruiter, but not necessarily move forward, but not always. So basically, unless they directly know the manager, it's probably not going to help a ton. I don't know. This is just My Little Pony resume. I feel like you were the one who showed this to me, but yeah, I don't know what to tell you. This is out there. This has been on it for years. I downloaded this. How far long ago did I download this? I downloaded this. This has been on my computer since January of this year. I don't know where I got it from, but I have it. I'm probably not good because I don't have their phone number, but yeah, good. Remind me next time, because it is a very deep topic. So my messaging pattern is called Scuzo. Yeah, I wonder what the ratio is too. So unless there are any last minute questions, we're gonna raid another channel, which my stupid headset is broken and only the left ratio, the left one is going. But I will meet you all I will see you all again on Wednesday. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, let's go raid another channel. My Little Pony Resumes. That's where it's at. That's the meta. I swear somebody showed this to me and I cannot remember who. All right, go to sleep. Get some rest. All right, so who do we have here? We have let's see. Who's doing coding? Let's see. Or we could do a Pathfinder. All right, I'll give you a choice. Do you guys want video games, coding assass, or a Pathfinder campaign that is currently going on? And I'm glad you enjoyed your stay. Those are the three options. Bull Ultro. Okay, I don't have Bull Ultro. I need to do some other stuff after this. So those are the three options. Let's see. I'm probably going to go to CM Griffin because he's the most tech heavy and y'all are tech. So let's go to tech. We're doing it. We're teching it up. This person you will probably know more than me. That is how that's worked. So let us raid him. And then I will see you all again on Wednesday. But I need lunch. And I'm going to work on my actual guide because I want to actually do that. I've been putting it off. So let us go.